Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Oh man, we got a good we got a good pro se today, guys. He's not like other pro ses. He could have been a lawyer but chose not to because it's corrupt. Just so you know. And then we got two small clips ready from Indiana that are lovely. And then Judge Fleischer, whoo, did he have a day? He had a very long day. I was in the middle of modding and just fell right to sleep for a minute because it was long. It what took a long, long time to get through the docket, but he was perfect. He was perfect. All right, let's start with the pro se. I can't wait any longer. I waited long enough. I waited like hours and hours. 11 hours. That's and yep, Becca was with me like, "Oh god, 11 hours is too long. What are we gonna do?" So I fell asleep. I actually had off work yesterday, so I made a full Thanksgiving dinner. I made turkey and gravy and rolls, and so I was in a coma last night. Yes. Thank you, Rebecca. Here we go. I think I caught the end of another one, but it's only a minute long.
Has reviewed it. And am I correct that, Mr. Goodwin, your, I guess, count 4 is a negligence claim based on an alleged violation of Connecticut General?
Okay. Now that you've seen the star of the show, this is him, the star of the show. I'm not going to read this, but I am going to show you. I have his complaint ready. There it is, right in front of my face. So here's a small summary of what we're looking at. It's coming. I'm just scrolling up to the top. Again, I'm not going to read this, Fozzie. So here, let me read this. John Goodwin versus his ex-girlfriend. Okay? Here's what happened. They were in a relationship and then they broke up. All right? And then she had made promises during their relationship that she did not fulfill after they broke up. So he is suing her for $15,000 over this. He's saying that he had to perform acts like get paperwork together for her lawyers because she had a lot of lawsuits, and he had to, let her dogs out, and he had to protect her from people that were attacking her, and he had to do investigative work. And so here's you don't have to read it. We're going to hear about it, but here are all of his issues with her. Pathetic mooch of the year. The plaintiff is pathetic mooch of the year on a sign adjacent to the property. All right, don't worry, you're going to see all this. First count, second count. Okay, it goes down to 14th count. And I can pop this into Discord real quick for anybody who wants to read it, or I'll be happy to read it out to all of you. Just kidding. Plaintiff claims judgment in the amount greater than $15,000. So I don't know how much it is. It's more than $15,000. So we're on a hearing about that. She is not here. I think what we're doing today is before the trial happens, They have their motions that they set forth, and now this is just a motions calendar, I think. I don't know. I mean, I'll show you what it says. It says hearing. So when I look at these, so when I look at these, I try to see what's going on today. As so today was a trial conference, and the 8th is the trial. So that's what we're doing today. We're doing just a trial conference before the trial starts. Oh, and look, she already posted something. Should we see the end before we? Oh, I know. All right, you're gonna find out that that's nothing. Now that we know what's going on, here we go. This is the guy right here.
Statutes 53A-223, as well as an alleged violation of 46B-83C. Is that right, Mr. Goodwin?
Correct.
All right. And count 4, which the defendant has moved to strike, is a statutory recklessness claim based on an alleged violation of 53A-223 and 46B-83C. Is that right?
Correct.
Also, I don't know if you remember, but some of these courtrooms that I get, I don't know what's going on. They have a mouse that sort of freaks out the whole time. So you're going to see there's just some freaking out over here. I don't know why it happens. It just happens in some of the Connecticut courtrooms, and this is definitely Connecticut courtroom.
And the 11th count and the 12th count, the 11th count is based on a breach of contract, based on allegations that you were assisting the defendant allegedly with preparation of affidavits and summarizing evidence and preparing other items. And the 12th count is similarly based on the 11th count, if you will, this contract that you allege you had with Miss Jowdery.
Jowdy, Your Honor.
Jowdy, okay.
And yeah,
including a covenant of good faith and fair dealing. Is that right?
correct. And I would also state that at all times she was represented by counsel, and I wasn't just assisting her, but I was also assisting her counsel and interacting with them as well.
Can I ask you a question? Were
Sure.
you doing this preparation of affidavits and the discovery and the summarizing of evidence? Were you doing this at the attorney's direction?
Yes, in some cases.
Okay. In what cases were you?
I'd have to go back, but sometimes the instructions came directly from the attorneys through calls with them, or and in some cases it was Ms. Jowdy asking me to do it for her attorney.
All right. Can I ask you a question? In these phone calls with counsel specifically directed you, Mr. Goodwin, to prepare these affidavits?
She laughs at
no,
him.
well, affidavits. I was drafting them for their review.
I got that, but it's very important. That's why I need to be precise. Did you do this at their direction?
I believe so.
And what do you base that belief on?
Because of Miss Jowdy's statements to me regarding what her counsel wanted.
Because it's
Okay.
corrupt.
But you never personally have in writing or an email or never had a phone call where one of the attorneys that you listed said, Mr. Goodwin, in other words, I've worked in a law
Sure,
firm.
I did. Sure, I did. I had meetings with them, in fact, in their offices, Roland Moots, Scott Mazer.
Right. So you had meetings so I know those attorneys, and sometimes they may turn to their paralegal, for example, and say, I need you to do X, Y, Z. Did they turn to you and say, John or Mr. Goodwin, we need you to do X, Y, Z?
Well, they asked Miss Jowdy to do it and get it done. And no, they didn't have, Scott Mazer does not have a paralegal. Roland Moots does. And we were in those meetings with Roland. He suggested that, yeah, I prepare things, or that Miss Jowdy prepare things. And, she's almost incompetent to do it.
So
And
they asked Miss Jowdy to prepare affidavits?
have them done, to have them done.
And did they ask you to do it? That
Well, Miss
you do
Jowdy
it as
asked
well?
me to do it because she couldn't, well, I was doing it with her. I mean, this wasn't absent her. She was actually working with me in many cases. But, it was like, there's just an enormous amount of information that had to be gone through. And I was helping her. And, at the same time, she's threatening to commit suicide if I don't help her. And she's wanting this. I mean, I'll look at one case. I spent literally hundreds of hours preparing statements regarding a contempt motion that was filed in her divorce case, and her lawyer, Mark Schifrin, wanted the information. And so I showed Miss Jowdy. I said, look, here, this is how we do it. She said, well, put it all together for me. And then she went through it all and then took it to her lawyer. And in fact, at one point she needed it updated. And I told her, I said, look, I can't do it. I just don't have the time to do this. You're going to have to do it yourself. And she took over that project at that point. I don't know if I've seen the result of that, but yeah, that was all given to Mark Schifrin.
Okay, because what I'm looking at specifically, I'm looking at your allegations, where it looks like that you spent over 60 hours assisting the defendant to draft communications, to speak with law enforcement officials and employees of DCF, to draft affidavits, to prepare discovery.
Well, yeah, and she's represented by Scott Mazer at that point, or John Gindy. And I met with
But
Gindy
you
too.
allege the work the plaintiff performed for the defendant, and this is paragraph 12, included but not limited to
But the
obtaining
defendant is
evidence.
also her attorney, Your Honor.
Mr. Goodwin, just let me finish, okay?
Sure.
What you're alleging is obtaining evidence from electronic devices used by the defendant's children, preparing affidavits, communicating with law enforcement officials, preparing Freedom of Information Act requests, identifying experts, communicating with persons involved in the juvenile matters, preparing timelines, meeting with defendants' attorneys, therapists, and other experts and advisors, reviewing and summarizing evidence, preparing requests for production, preparing deposition and trial exhibits, preparing witness deposition and trial questions, and testifying at trial. So I guess nowhere in that paragraph do you allege you did this because you were specifically requested by Miss Jowdy's attorneys.
Well, they were requests. I mean, they did request these things, and I can amend the
From
complaint
you?
to allege that.
And that's where
Yes.
from you.
Your Honor, you're trying to make a separation here between Miss Jowdy and her attorneys. Miss Jowdy's attorneys are her agents, correct? And Miss Jowdy's represented by these attorneys who have made appearances on her behalf in all of the cases, and I listed those.
Bonjour.
And Miss Jowdy is talking to her attorneys. She's talking to me. I'm talking to her attorneys. Her attorneys are talking to her. It's her attorneys and Miss Jowdy are one entity that are speaking to me, asking me to do things on her behalf. And
okay, one question, it's very simple. Yes or no? Each of the attorneys listed by you in your objection, yes or no? And that would be, well, let me take it one at a time. Let's see. Just trying to get to your list. I know you had listed the attorneys that represented her. Okay. So yes or no? Did Attorney Fink ask you to prepare affidavits, discovery, summarize exhibits, get expert witnesses ready? Yes or no? Did he ask you?
I don't know.
Okay. Yes or no? Did Attorney Gahadini, Gihidini, yes or no? Did that attorney ask you specifically to prepare affidavits, discovery, summarize documents, get expert witnesses ready, that type of thing?
Some of that information, yes.
He asked you specifically.
He asked me and Ms. Jowdy
Okay.
together. We were together.
So he asked you to prepare affidavits?
I'm not sure he asked for an affidavit.
What did Attorney Gahadini ask you to prepare?
I know he wanted a timeline. Now you're conflating this to be.
I'm not doing any, I'm just trying to clarify.
All I'm saying
Mr.
is
Goodwin,
that Miss Jowdy and her attorneys are a single entity.
I understand that. I understand that's what you're saying. I'm just trying to get answers to my questions. Yes or no?
John Gandini
yes or no?
asked for timelines and information, and he also asked about experts. And Miss Jowdy and I worked on that together to track down
I'm thinking double wedding.
experts. I mean, we're living in the same house together, working on this case material, Your Honor. We're not separated by phone, separated physically. We're working on this together. And in some cases, these attorneys are coming to her house and meeting with us directly, or we're going to them.
All right. Yes or no? Did Attorney Mazur ask you?
Yes.
Personally to do things? What did Attorney Mazur ask you to do?
It was a whole slew of things, Your Honor.
Your Honor, it was a slew of things. Hey, Patrick, he's not an attorney. He's the ex-boyfriend.
And
prepare affidavits? Did Attorney Mazur ask you, John Goodwin, to prepare affidavits?
He asked us, Ms. Jowdy and me, to prepare affidavits.
I'm not asking about Ms. Jowdy. I'm asking you personally.
I do not recall if he asked me to prepare an affidavit.
Attorney Moots, did Attorney Moots ask you to prepare affidavits, discovery, get expert witnesses ready, summarize evidence?
No, wait, I want to make something very clear here, Your Honor, that's missing. The affidavits were Ms. Jowdy's affidavits that she was giving to her attorneys.
Did you prepare them?
I helped her.
Okay.
I helped her.
Did any attorney ask you to help her prepare those affidavits?
They asked her to provide her an affidavit.
Okay. What about what did Attorney Moots ask you personally to do?
They wanted to see a pro forma complaint about whether they were gonna. So they had entered I don't think they entered an appearance on her behalf, but she had paid them a retainer to take up her divorce case, and Attorney Moots was also considering taking a civil action that Ms. Jowdy was going to file against her ex-husband, and they wanted to see a pro forma complaint.
Did they ask you personally to prepare that pro forma complaint?
Well, Ms. Jowdy made it clear to them that I was doing it.
Did they ask you to prepare that?
Well, he wanted to see it. I didn't know. Roland didn't ask me directly, but Ms. Jowdy asked me to do it for him.
Got it. What about Attorney Bennett? What did Attorney Bennett ask you to do?
He asked me
Nothing.
For all the basis that Ms. Jowdy had for her
He's not.
Complaint against Mr. Malot. And the Sands. And so he wanted me to provide that, the legal research that I had done, and
Objection,
the basis.
non-responsive.
for the complaint because he came in after the complaint was filed.
All right. What did Attorney Sullivan ask you to do?
A whole host of things, including preparing affidavits, but he was also representing me.
A host of things.
Okay. What about, did Attorney Sullivan ask you to prepare affidavits for Miss Jowdy?
I'm not sure she signed an affidavit for him, but yeah, actually, I think she did. And yes, he did.
Okay, so Attorney Sullivan asked you to prepare an affidavit for Miss Jowdy.
Right. And, you know, he went through it all with her. And, you know, all these lawyers went through things with her.
But that doesn't, Mr. Goodwin, let me just explain to you. You understand, sir, you cannot practice law in the state of Connecticut. Hold up, let me finish. Unless you're a licensed attorney, no matter how good you are. You understand that, right?
I understand that. In fact, most of the time when Miss Jowdy asked me a question or, you know, about the legal sufficiency of something, I would tell her she had to go talk to her attorneys. I mean, that happened many, many, many times.
And you're suing her because you said you would prepare affidavits, you would review and summarize evidence, and you would prepare legal documents. In exchange, she said, she told you, this is your claim, I'll keep you on my medical insurance. That's the basis for your breach of contract, right?
No, Your Honor. I think you've turned this upside down. Miss Jowdy demanded
she's smiling.
that I assist her, or she was going to commit suicide. That is the basis of this. And on many occasions, and on 2 occasions, she was even taken into custody by law enforcement for threatening suicide. This has been going, I've known her for 25 years. I spent 4 years of my life trying to help her so she would not commit suicide. And you're flipping this because Miss Jowdy and her attorneys are asking me to do these things. And it's not something I wanted to do, but I wanted to make sure that she was healthy and that things were taken care of. And I gave up my career for 4 years to do that. Okay. And it's not a question of my and I do take exception here. It's not a question of my practicing law. It's a question of my putting information together so her attorneys can practice law and be efficient in representing her. And most of these attorneys, Schifrin, Serafinowicz, Bennett, Mazur, did not have the resources. Gindi did not have the resources to support her. And they knew that I was supporting her. I met with Scott Mazur the first meeting with Miss Jowdy. He knew that I was going to be helping her.
By the way, him saying he was supporting her only means that he was like emotionally supporting her. He lives rent-free, utility-free. He didn't pay any of the bills or anything. And he said that's because he had to do things like walk her dogs and fill out these affidavits for her. So he got to live rent-free. He already got to live rent-free while they were dating. She worked. He didn't. He gave up his career and she paid all the bills.
Prepare all this stuff and submitting it to her or submitting it to him. I have emails showing that I submitted it to him.
Did Attorney Serafinowicz ask you to prepare documents for him?
Yes.
Okay. And what did Attorney Serafinowicz ask you to prepare?
He wanted me to prepare all the basis again for the which some of it I did, some of it I didn't do, but for the lawsuit against Mr. Malone, and the Sands. Mr. Malone and the Sands, I think, is the one.
So what were the documents he asked you to prepare?
Realize that this is an issue, but Mr. Serafinowicz was also representing me. This is an issue. and I may sue him. He doesn't have any money, so I think going after him might be, just a waste of time. But he asked me for a slew of documents.
All right. Did he ask you to
A
prepare
slew.
affidavits?
I don't think there were any affidavits prepared for the matters that he was representing Ms. Jowdy on.
All right. What did he ask you to prepare?
Oh man, no. Please sue his lawyer. Please, please, sir, please sue this lawyer. Please, I'm begging you. I'll pay. I'll pay your fees if you sue this lawyer, please.
He wanted information supporting her claims in her lawsuit against Mr. Malo.
What did Attorney Judah ask you to prepare for him?
Ms. Jowdy actually asked me, because I have an accounting background, to look at the issue of whether her
He's an accountant too.
ex-husband had fully disclosed information pertaining to his stock option plan. And several of her attorneys had looked at this before, and none of them had figured it out. So I looked at that for Ms. Jowdy, and I provided the information for Ms. Jowdy to her. And so she passed it along to Attorney Kuda and Attorney Schifrin, who's clueless and screwed it all up. But he's really an incompetent. But that was information pertaining and just figuring out whether he had a plan and whether there was a plan in place at the time he was at the time they got divorced. And as an accountant and as an investment banker, I took a look at that and I said, look, I believe based on this
lawyer,
that he didn't disclose this information during your divorce proceedings, and you should contact your attorney with this information and provide that information to them and have them deal with it, which they've done. As I say, Schifrin did it in an incompetent manner. I think I don't know Attorney Kuda, but he appears to be a lot more competent, which is good for her. But that's the kind of thing I was doing for her. It wasn't just I wasn't preparing affidavits for her to sign them and then go on, or preparing timelines or anything else. She was editing these things too and providing them to her attorney.
pay his own rent.
And we were sharing these documents as well via a Dropbox account. I was providing the documents to her. Here's a draft. There you go. Do with it what you may. Take this and edit it and go on. But she always was represented by attorneys who were reviewing this stuff.
Attorney Sclair?
Yes, Your Honor. Based on the allegations,
Where does he start? How does he begin with that?
the complaint, and based on what I'm hearing, it seems like Mr. Goodwin didn't have an agreement and was practicing law. Is engaging in lawyerly functions. That's not permitted. It's essentially an illegal contract, which is unenforceable. Therefore, this count cannot stand.
All right. And do you wish to argue the other bases for your motion to strike?
Sure. Well, to get to count 11, which is related to count 12, breach of implied covenant of good faith and fair duty, that pertains to the breach of contract claim because that flows from or stems from a contract. If the contract is illegal or unenforceable, that count falls, and I think count 12 would fall as well. As to the statutory negligence and statutory recklessness, those are based on the same set of facts, which is essentially that that the defendant allegedly took the plaintiff off her health insurance coverage plan. And this supposedly violated statutes that Your Honor mentioned at the beginning, which refer to protective orders. I don't think anything in the protective order in the statute and anything that's been alleged would contemplate that. I think these refer to acts of violence or certain acts of communication, threatening, harassment. I don't see how that can be construed to violate the statute negligently or recklessly. I don't see this sufficiently alleged. I'm not sure how that would work, and I'd be happy to revisit it more, Your Honor, but I think that covers it briefly.
I want to say I recall something from the deep recesses of my mind that you can't bring a civil action based on an alleged violation of a criminal statute. In other words, that if there's a violation of criminal statute, the remedy is the state prosecutes somebody. But the remedy is not to bring a civil lawsuit on that. Is either of you familiar with that?
I did not brief that, Your Honor, to be honest. I did think of that as well, but I didn't brief it. I'd be happy to do that, but I didn't brief it in my motion.
Attorney Goodwin or Mr. Goodwin? I'm sorry. See, I'm referring to you as an attorney, even though you're not. Mr.
Please,
Goodwin, do you
please,
know anything about that? I'm sorry, what?
There are.
What did you say?
There are statutes that are. I intentionally did not become an attorney.
Why was that?
Why?
Yeah.
Because because of the corruption in the judicial system, Your Honor, and attorneys self-regulate, and they're the only profession that self-regulates, and I just think it's wrong. I think we've gotten way off course in this country, and I've got plenty of examples, but not in Your Honor's court, but other courts. I think you're fair, and I think you really try to get it at issues, and you do your research. I'm not.
Thank you.
So,
I appreciate that.
But there are other people in your court, included, that don't do that don't take their jobs very seriously. I'll
just state for the record, and you're certainly entitled, Mr. Goodwin, to your opinions, as we all are, right? But that's not my experience. I'm fortunate, in my opinion, to sit with very capable, very conscientious colleagues and judges, but that's neither here nor there, I suppose. But so I'm not, I didn't want that to go unresponded to, if you will.
Right. I am aware that there are criminal statutes that the violation of such criminal statutes are do have cause for civil actions, and right now you'll have to forgive me. I am on chemotherapy.
I'm glad to hear that, because I'm glad to hear you're able to get that. Not that you're on chemotherapy, but Mr. Goodwin, or that you have cancer, but I'm glad you're able to get the treatment now.
But there are some things that, and I think there's actually a claim. Well, sure, there are claims in this action for assault and battery. The first two claims are, and those are based, on criminal acts.
But that's separate, because there's civil. You can have a civil action for an assault or a battery. There's a civil cause of action, which I'm pretty clear about, is that, and I'm not putting my hand on the case right now, but I'm sure counsel and you, Mr. Goodwin, can find this. I'm almost certain that you cannot sue based on a penal statute. I'm pretty sure there's case law to that effect.
What'd she
but
say?
Perhaps I'm remembering wrong.
I'll research it, but I know under laws of other states that's not the case, but maybe it's just the case in Connecticut. I'll just have to look at it.
And my recollection could be wrong, but I seem to recall there's something to that effect. All right.
Now, I would just say, Your Honor, and I have to say, where is the demarcation of doing work that is that is attorney, that is reserved for attorneys only, and work by someone who's an accountant and an expert in and a witness. In this case, I am actually a witness to many.
Did you see that he couldn't get to the end of that? And a person who's an expert in and a witness.
Of the facts that were put in timelines for Miss Jowdy. I'm an actual witness. Not just a helper, but a witness. And Miss Jowdy is the one who's demanding that I help her. And in several cases is arrested for attempting
No, he's not an attorney.
Was arrested for attempting to commit suicide or attempting to grab a firearm to commit suicide. Was taken into custody. And she's demanding this. I don't want to see anybody die. Of course I'm going to help her. She's my girlfriend. But she made promises too. And then all of a sudden she decides that everything's off the table. And this has, I'm sure, a lot to do with Attorney Schifrin. Everything's off the table, and I'm going to throw you to the wayside, John, because for 4 years you supported me, but now I believe that there's a window open here for me to have a relationship with my children, which was never actually opened, which was misrepresented to her by Attorney Schifrin. And she's just going to, but that requires her to get rid of me. In the meantime, I've spent 4 years of my life trying to help her. And she's the one who created the contract. That's being misrepresented too. She's the one
What contract?
who said, I'm going to remunerate you for this, John. I mean, that is not represented in the defendant's motion, but that's the case. I mean, this is a fact-driven analysis. And I understand you're trying to get at the facts, Your Honor, but there's a lot of work to do to get
That made her laugh.
Now, talk to me a little bit, Mr. Goodwin, about why you believe stopping your health insurance violated the protective order that was issued in this case.
Well, this was after she was arrested. As I said in the as I stated in the complaint, she had represented that she was going to keep me on her health insurance, and I had no reason to believe that she would take me off. She could have communicated to me that she was going to take me off. She didn't. She just did it. And then I had no health insurance because I had taken employment with a company in Massachusetts at that point. And they had asked me, Mr. Goodwin, would you like health insurance? I said no, because I'm covered on through Christine through her policy. And so, you know, I believed at all times that I was covered. She didn't tell me. She just got angry and did it. And it caused me harm as a result. I could have gotten other insurance.
So I understand that, but how does that violate the protective order that you had issued in your favor?
Well,
talk to me about that.
Because she was, I'm looking at my,
and I am as well. I'm looking at your complaint.
I'm looking at my response here, my opposition.
Did you attach the protective order in your response?
I didn't have a clean copy of the protective
but
order. I do now, but
Guys, I just want to point out. Hey, Sarah, I have a video. I think it might be called blank, 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 blank. That was New London County. You got some doozies coming out of your county.
I didn't at that time.
Well,
and it was
I can look it up. I can look it up. So it was a civil protective order issued in a case in your favor, protecting you against Miss Jowdy, right?
Right. And from her interfering with me, for abusing or interfering with me is what I'm saying.
Was it issued in this courthouse, Mr. Goodwin, or was it issued elsewhere?
Yes, it was issued in that courthouse. I can give you
The docket number?
Yeah, I've got the docket number. It's
Fantastic. What is it?
It's LI8W-CR22-0186355-S.
All right, so it was a criminal protective
Yes.
order, 2201863555. Okay, I can't pull that up, but I'd have to get the paper file, which I can look at it.
I
But
can
what
tell
is-
you right now, I requested the paper file and the protective order wasn't in there. And I wound up having to go back to the clerk and I got a copy. I have a copy that I can file with the court if you'd like me to.
Sure. Does that protective order any place prohibit her, or order her to maintain health insurance for you?
No, it does not, but it does state that that she cannot abuse or interfere with me. And I'm resting my argument here on, that she abused me and interfered with me by canceling my health insurance without telling me. I mean, it would have been a whole different story if she'd come to me and said, John, I've got to take you off my insurance policy. She didn't do that. What she did was she canceled it, and I had no idea. So I'm thinking I've got health insurance, and I wasn't able to replace the policy because I thought I had health insurance.
Okay, so the one that says do not abuse, harass, follow, interfere with, or stalk, right? That's what it says?
Well, if you look at page 4 of my opposition, I state that
He just can't answer a question.
as alleged in in the amendment complaint, defendant had a statutory duty not to abuse, interfere, and or interfere with plaintiff by canceling his health insurance without his knowledge or consent. And all I'm saying is that abuse and interference occurred when she interfered when she canceled my health insurance.
Can I just ask you, there's a couple of boxes that are checked on these
He's not gonna
criminal
answer.
protective orders. The first one is surrender or transfer all firearms and ammunition. And then what's the next box that was checked on, since you have a clean copy? What does that say? And Miss Jowdy cannot do what?
I can tell you one of them, and the one I'm resting my argument on, is abuse and or interfere. And I don't have a copy of that in my hand. And
Okay.
frankly, what I've got here is kind of a mess to try to get through and organize my documents. But
Oh my
I
gosh,
can
he
file
doesn't
that
have
with
it?
the court, Your Honor.
But he's an expert.
And
Sure.
that's probably
If
the
you
best
wanna-
way to get that.
If you want to upload and send a copy to Attorney Scalera of the actual protective order upon which you're relying for counts 4 and 6, that would be great.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay?
So
How
how
much
do-
time
how-
do you need
can
to
you-
do that?
Well, I'll have to find it first.
7 days enough time?
Oh, yeah, it's plenty. I can
All
get,
right.
I should be able to get it done the next day or two.
So what you can do, Mr. Goodwin, is just file, compliance with court order and attach it to that.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right. And if you both want to give me a brief about whether or not legally one can sue for violation of a penal statute, that would be great as well. 30 days enough time?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now I filed for leave to file an amended complaint, Your Honor.
Okay.
Now I
Attorney-
can further amend that to clarify the what I did under the 11th and 12th
Spit it out. Spit
claims.
it out.
Attorney Scalera, are you going to be objecting to the request for leave to amend?
I guess I would need to see it first before I decide. I don't think at the moment I don't have an inclination that I will object to it, but obviously I might file a request for revise or a motion to strike responsive to that. So yeah, I guess I would.
Well, why don't you do this, since you haven't looked at it? It was filed on September 6th. I haven't seen an objection yet, and it's September 23rd. So,
Yes, sorry, I was confused. I thought Mr. Goodman was saying he was going to file another amended complaint.
You're correct, Attorney Scalera. That's what I did say. But
Alright.
I'm sorry for the
So-
confusion.
no, no problem. So the court doesn't, the court doesn't need to rule then on 111 because it's going to be superseded by a subsequent motion. Is that right?
Maybe possibly if I don't, if I plead something that Attorney Scalera objects to, then possibly I will. But I would like to go ahead and file an amended complaint to clarify what I did and why it does not fall under practicing law. You know, 'cause that's about the last thing that, you know, I mean, handing legal research to an attorney that I've done, you know, and also there's another aspect of this. Not only am I a fact witness here, Your Honor, but I'm also a plaintiff in a parallel case with Miss Jowdy, which you were also you know, forgive me, it's hard for me to focus given everything, but the chemotherapy, but you're also the judge on that case, Your
Yep.
Honor.
She's the
That's
judge
the
on
case
another
against the
case.
Sands, correct?
Well, I'm not, no, that's against Mr. Malo.
Oh,
So Miss Jowdy filed against, I did not file against the Sands. Miss Jowdy did. Miss Jowdy in that same case filed against her ex-husband, Raymond Malo. And I also filed against Raymond Malo, and you're the judge on that case, which that case
Oh,
has
goody.
stayed pending my completion of chemo.
okay.
So,
All right. Well, 7 days for you to file a copy of the protective order upon which you're relying to assert your claims in counts 4 and 6. Both counsel and Mr. Goodwin want to file a brief on whether within 30 days and whether or not you can bring suit based on an alleged violation of a criminal statute. And I'll wait both the brief and the notice, and then the court will issue its ruling.
okay, and then I'm gonna be in the intervening time. I will be filing for leave to amend the complaint that to clarify what I did, because there's just too much confusion here. I agree with that. Okay.
All right, Attorney Sclair, would that moot out your motion?
I don't think it would moot out the motion, Your Honor. And I think it might actually be helpful still to have a ruling on the motion because it could provide insight on future complaints or proposed amended complaints. So I don't think it would moot it out. Obviously, you know, hasn't been written yet. We haven't seen the language yet, but I still think it would be valuable for Your Honor to rule on this because depending on the ruling, it could set the precedent for future pleadings.
Okay. All right. I'll take a look at this and then I'll wait the subsequent filings and issue my order. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Court
everyone.
stands in recess.
Oh, you poor judge. So we only have a couple more days. How many more days do we have until the trial? Is the 8th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time because it's Connecticut, so I can handle this website. I can handle it. So actually, all these filings is really not that bad. Usually when we got a crazy person in here, We have hundreds of these, so he's really not doing that bad. And this is only from February, so he really is moving this along pretty good. He's gonna lose, but that's besides the point. October 8th. Why? Is that your birthday, Patrick? I gotta know. Usually when I say a date, there's always someone who says, "Hey, that's my birthday." Okay, now we got two little quick things that are going to be very fun for all involved. I mean, well, one of them won't. One of them is only going to be fun for me. I'm going to play it right now. I'm the only one who's going to like this clip, but it's only 46 seconds. Oh
People
no.
versus Dante Pagliasotti, 24 CR 689.
Corey Fluke for the people.
Cody Hill on behalf of Mr. Pagliasotti, who's present today in custody via WebEx. We're set for our first arraignment. We're asking to continue arraignment for 2 weeks, please.
And we have no objection to that.
Court will grant that request. This is a first arraignment. The court will typically permit another arraignment and will do so here. Court continues for 2 weeks. That'll take us to October 8th at 8 o'clock. Mr. Pagliasotti, we'll see you at that time, October 8th at 8 o'clock.
All right, sounds good, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That's it. That's the whole clip. But is that not the best name you've ever heard in your life? Mr. Pagliasotti. Linus, I'm really thinking about taking his name first just so that I can make you Mrs. Pagliasotti. How do you spell that? Just throw some letters. Just throw some letters on the paper and it'll be fine. All right, all right, all right. I know. That was boring. I loved it. Okay, and now here we go. Oh, that's not it. That's not right. That's
And-
wrong.
Now try.
I'm the only one with the fuck. That was the other court that we had. There we go.
I'm not going to reduce your
All
bond.
right. Well,
So does that change your your idea about whether or not you're going to be able to hire your own attorney?
Oh, I'll be able to hire my attorney. I just have to make a phone call.
Okay,
Make sure I got the phone available.
that's fine. So she can make a regular phone call. Let her use a regular phone, make a phone call. All right. Do you want me to show Grace's withdrawn?
You can show me, but
No, I said, do you want me to do you want me to
yes,
have
yes.
Grace withdrawn as your attorney?
yes, please.
Are you sober today?
I've been in jail.
Well, I understand, but some people make toilet hooch, can drink that. So yeah, they make a brew in their toilets and it's really nasty. Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. So you haven't been drinking that.
No.
All right.
Oh, I've been taking a leave.
A leaf, that's fine.
Yeah.
Anything else? Is
Not unless the nurse gives me something else, because
there anything about you mentally, emotionally, physically that stops you from understanding what you're doing today? Okay. All right, Becky. Well, then I'll show your withdrawal of attorney be known and intelligent, and I'll show the public defender withdrawn for now. And I'm going to set this for status of counsel hearing. Make sure you have hired an attorney. Oh. Yeah. Well, I guess let's change that. Let's set the final pretrial for October 15th. And I'm going to bump the jury trial to November 4th. That way, our new attorney will have some time. So, all right, Becky. So I will see you October 15th for a final pretrial / status of counsel hearing, and your jury trial is November 4th. Okay.
thanks for your time. but-
You're welcome, Becky. All right. Good luck. Thank you. The pre-trials are always at 8:30 in my court, and the jury trials are always at 1:30.
Maybe will that be on my paperwork?
Yeah, we'll send you some paperwork. Yep. Okay, thank you.
She said, if you get rid of my bond, I can hire an attorney. I'm not going to reduce your bond. And that's the face. she made when he said, I'm not going to reduce your bond. Oh, man. It's time, guys. I'm going to skip the first part because there was a hot mic moment with another attorney and it was just embarrassing. So I'm just going to skip that part. I think it's fixed around here. I think.
Five, 7, 14, and 15, okay?
Prime numbers. No, they're not, guys. New guy. I like him. I like the new guy. Listen, I love Logan. I love Pavel. I'm sure I can love more people than one.
So,
Yeah.
good luck.
I'm making this around.
Yeah.
I have ER units as well.
Yeah, that's a doozy. Throw you in the pits of despair.
Judge, what's the case number on that one?
252 9519. Salcedo, right? Okay. You, what? Oh, so you were Natalie Salcedo.
Right, yes, sir.
Ms. Salcedo, you're charged with assault on a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you now. Okay, please.
It states that on Monday, September 16th, 2024, deputy was dispatched to a family assault call located at 14646 Virginia Drive in Harris County, Texas. Complainant stated that on this date, he was assaulted by the defendant who he broke up with approximately 2 weeks ago after being in a dating relationship for 2 years. Complainant stated he had allowed the defendant to stay the night at his residence on September 15th. Complainant stated he fell asleep around 9 or 10 p.m. He woke up around 3 a.m. Complainant stated he could not find his phone. Complainant stated the defendant then got out of the bed and began to tell him that she found stuff in his phone that she did not like, that she hated him. Complainant stated the defendant began to look for all of the items she had purchased and went to the closet to look for a pair of shoes. Complainant stated the defendant was being loud, so he attempted to tell her to quiet down. Complainant stated the defendant then turned around and struck him in his face, which caused him pain. Complainant stated he was unsure if the strike was with an open hand or a closed hand. He stated he then grabbed the defendant's wrists and bear hugged her, put her on the bed to prevent her from striking him more. As he was attempting to get off of the defendant, she reached her legs up and kicked him on the right side of his face. The defendant at this time was wearing shoes. Officer was able to observe visible markings and bruisings on the complainant's face. Complainant stated he then rolled off of the defendant and she gathered her belongings before leaving inside of the residence. Complainant stated once he believed the defendant was inside her car, he went back inside. At that time, he heard a car alarm, and he went outside to check. Looks like damage to his mirror, his side view mirror.
Are y'all planning on filing mischief charges as well or no?
I do not believe so, Judge. I believe it would just be this AFM.
Hey, Vic, can you tell me the translator? Do you have a name? I have someone trying to pop in and I'm scared to let anyone in now, you know?
That was me,
Ms.
Judge.
Salcedo, I'm
Sorry.
going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. How old are you, ma'am?
She's 23 years old, Your Honor.
There's no any children in this relationship? Okay. I am entering what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Jake Anthony Hernandez as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon. What is the status of the relationship now?
Judge, I believe they're no longer together. They do not live together. And if Your Honor would allow, I would be, if possible, requesting a PR bond, Judge. She has no criminal history.
Marcos, I'm down with that.
Okay.
I don't
Thank you,
see,
Judge.
I don't see
Thank you.
any prior criminal history that you see.
No, Judge, no prior criminal
Okay.
history.
And
I will give you a
yeah.
PR bond, ma'am, now, but I'm gonna tell you, this is the only one that you're gonna get. So if you pick up a new case, you violate conditions of your bond, I'm gonna put you in jail. And then I'll make your bond 5,000 to 10,000, and then you'll be stuck in there and unless someone bonds you out. So consider the choices that you make out there. There are wise choices and there are unwise choices. So that's all on you. What do you do with yourself these days?
What do I do with myself? I work at a pediatric dentistry.
I did try to call the court today 7 times. I tried to call Judge Fleischer's court today 7 times while court was in session, because there was that hot mic issue going on, and I was trying to tell them, but they didn't answer the phone. Hi, Blue Eyes.
I go to school HCC, and I go to the gym.
I mean, you graduated from high school, you've now doing, okay. I just want to make sure that you're productive out there and just not out there doing nothing and just not making something of yourself. Okay. I'll set bond at $100, guys, unless you have any kind of.
I guess $100 PR, is that? Okay.
Ma'am, the only other thing I need to tell you is that this comes with a residential restriction, meaning that you cannot go within 200 feet of where he lives or where he works. So if he were to call you, go, hey, come over here.
You're not going to find the reason why he's scared to let the interpreter in, because it's gone. It's gone. It happened a bunch of streams ago, and it was cut out, and it's not on his site at all. Just some idiots.
Let's chat this out. Let's talk about this. And you go over there, you're still in violation, even if this person were to invite you over, bless you. So when I mean no contact, I really mean no contact. If he calls you, don't answer the phone. If he texts you, don't reply. If he emails you, don't respond. Until and if we lift this court order, it's just no contact with this person. Do you have any questions?
Well, he keeps contacting me, and he's going to my job and
Security, just go to Fozzie's favorite site, and you'll be able to see what we're talking about.
stuff even after he called the police. So I don't know if I can have the same thing towards him. No.
So I mean, you could, but you'd have to go to a family court. I can't get that. I don't have jurisdiction to put, I can't do that. The only thing that I can do is I can order you, because you're charged not to have contact with this person. I can't order because I don't have power over him to restrict his movement or to do anything. If you want to do that, there are family courts and domestic violence courts that you can go and apply for a protective order. And if they deem it's worthy, at that point, they'll give you one. But I don't know. So just don't have contact with him. If he comes to your work, what I would do is call the cops. Say, hey, look, I've got this guy here. He's bothering me. There's a protective order that's been issued. And hopefully, at some point he'll get the message. You can also ask Marcos to reach out to him and let him know, hey, there's a protective order. Please don't have contact with her anymore. That's also something that you can do as well. Okay. All right. You have a lawyer. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with Marcos. I will waive your appearance. So just stay in touch with him and he'll tell you when you have to go back to work. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused? Yes. Thanks, Ryan.
If you can come over here.
Judge, and I believe there should be a defense attorney in the Zoom queue for a Ronald Cobbs.
Be me, Judge.
I believe.
Miss Phillips.
her name.
Judge, can you hear?
Ms. Phillips.
Or it should be Rebecca AC.
Yeah, that's same person.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Is Cobb on the docket today?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Phillips,
Yes, Judge, can you hear me?
ma'am, you mind doing me a favor? Would you hit the button on the sound bar? There should be just a power button right on the side for just one time to turn it on, please.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I got you, yeah.
Okay, good morning.
Hey.
Judge, you put Mr. Cobbs on the docket this morning because you wanted him to come in for drug testing today, Thursday, and the following Monday until it was clear for everything but THC.
Okay.
So he is on docket for that purpose this morning. He has gone over and taken his test. And I just wanted to approach with the prosecutor from DVD because on Friday, he was given bond conditions that included no contact, and there was also a MOAP put in place. I'm not seeing the MOAP on the misdemeanor case in deeds, but I have a hard copy of it that shows me that it was signed in court on Friday. And the felony RIP call, as well as, and I won't speak for the DVD prosecutor, but my understanding is the complainant does not wish to proceed and is not in favor of the no contact order. In fact, I believe she is with child right now, and it is
I
with
got
the
it, but
defendant.
okay. Why is it not in deeds?
Does it feel better, Lori? That would hurt. I would keep
Yeah,
it on.
I think so.
I know it's a pain.
So yeah, it'll take a while, Rebecca, for it to show up in deeds if it's on paper as opposed to filed electronically.
Right,
It's only
that's what I
been-
figured. The prosecutor, I just didn't
No. Is your doggy okay? Is it just like a normal procedure?
want to misstate anything to the prosecutor because he didn't see it on
My cat just got out of surgery today. She's fine. So hopefully your doggy will be fine. Yeah, I know, Lori. I know.
deeds either, but I do actually have the copy of it. So I know it's out there somewhere.
I need to do a deeper dive before I do that. He's got a felony case and impeding breath with the same person, so I'm not gonna just allow, I need to do a deeper dive. And-
Judge, I understand, but I did want to point out it is the same transaction, same date, same offense. They've just alleged two different manner and means. One is a felony and one is a
YouTube won't let me say it. Something hub.
misdemeanor. So it's everything is the same.
Got it.
But I understand.
Let's do this. Can we revisit this a little bit later?
Absolutely.
Come up, Mr. Cobb. He's positive for cocaine, Rebecca.
Yes, and Judge, I was just appointed on Friday, and I understand that there's a 7-day window to have that come
No,
back clean.
no, it's not a 7-day window. Take a seat for me at the jury box. Rebecca, can you give me a little bit of time? Do this, chat me your cell phone. And I've got a
Absolutely.
line waiting for people, and then I'll adjust the bond conditions here momentarily, okay?
No problem. Thank you,
Please.
Judge.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Kentucky's in the house. Oh, sorry. No, that's wrong, Terry, isn't it? Isn't it? Kentucky. Nope. Nope. That was way wrong. Nope. I don't have my Kentucky on today. I can't put my Kentucky on. Kentucky's in the house. Hi, Terry.
Okay.
Also the approach on bond conditions.
I made her a whole turkey.
What are we doing with this case?
Judge, she just popped back up on the radar, so
429 days old. She's repeatedly taken off, and I'm not gonna continue to reset this case. It's time to put this baby to bed.
right.
So we do something today with your case, ma'am. It's 429 days old. I'm not gonna continue to reset it.
We're gonna set it for trial today, Judge, with a pre-trial conference if dated possible.
Yeah, okay, let's set up a trial. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you know now, Ms. Brown, that I'm not here to play games. If you want to set up a trial, great. I'll give you a trial, but I'm not gonna take any offers after today. Today's your final plea deadline. I'm sure that they've given you an offer now. I'll have you guys talk about it. If you want to set up a trial, we'll do that. But after we set this, you will go to trial. I'm not gonna take any more plea bargains after this date. Do you understand? You don't have to make a decision now, but by the end of today, I need to know what you want to do. If you want to set up a trial, we're happy to do that. I won't take anything else though. Do you understand? Okay. So tell me what you want to do. And this is a mischief, so.
It's a ABI and a mischief.
Yes, Your Honor, the same transaction.
Got it. So yeah, no drugs, no alcohol, random testing. I'm gonna put an ankle monitor on her if she wants to trial because she's been gone for years. So today she gets an ankle monitor and then no contact and no weapons.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay. let me know, man.
Can I read this?
Okay.
Judge, we're prepared to set this case for trial. Talk to the chief. He's requesting a short reset for the file the case. That's fine with me, Judge.
All right.
And Judge, she's here. I would just request that within the week she can appear to be waived and we can just get a trial date.
Is it definitely going to go to trial?
Yeah, she does not want to do. There's a PTAP offer on there and a time served, and we've discussed it a lot, and she would like to go to trial.
Let's just set it. Why waste time? You know.
I believe that there's a chance the state could,
Judge, the only reason why I'm not setting it right now is because I asked defense, he said nobody's evaluated this case. If you want to set it now, we can evaluate in the interim, and then if we can't.
No, I mean, I guess let's just, how long do you want?
A week is totally fine, Judge. I've already signed emails.
A week, and then at that point, we'll set it. But that's no more resets after that.
I totally understand.
Okay.
Judge.
Can you send them all up and some documents?
I got this, Carrie. Carrie, I got this for you. Yes, Donald. Absolutely.
Say it again. State, yeah. Hey, Vic, the person in the waiting room?
Guitar is
Yes, yeah, okay, great.
We both can. Double mad. Oh, Donald, we are all mad at you. We are all mad at you. I don't know why.
Samuel Cortez.
Sir,
Do you have a lawyer today?
not at the moment.
Tell me what you're doing about that.
My lawyer picked out. He told me his price range. I'm halfway to that.
Oh, dude, have we got a lawyer for you? He's not even a lawyer, but he's an expert. So you don't need to pay. Listen, all you need to do is give him health insurance. We have got a lawyer for you.
go to.
Okay, we'll give you more time if you need it. And just say no more. If you need more time, we'll give it to you. Okay? Please.
All right, Judge, page 12, coming, Derek.
That sounds like a legit reason,
Abel.
Donald.
Hey. Okay. So pick a Thursday in November.
Yes, sir. Just Victoria.
Yeah, just let Victoria know.
I pull your hair, I like you.
She needs to stay for bond conditions though.
Right.
If she leaves, she gets revoked.
Right.
Just no more PR bonds.
I really like
Okay.
the color of his clothes.
Good morning, Mr. Cummings. Are you signing on?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Miss Reddy is out of the country.
Okay, Ms. Reddy, she's signing on.
She is the attorney record. But because she's out of.
Right, I don't have anything filed by her. Let me see, do you have anything? On bottom of page 12? Do you have Asha ready? Did she file an attorney record? I see that she's on the felony case, but
Yes.
we don't have anything for her on this case.
Then I'll do it today, Judge. As attorney record, we've got a deal already worked out. In fact, they're gonna dismiss the felony. And we're gonna plead here on a deferred adjudication on this.
Are we to do it today?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Do you want to sign on or do you want to sign her name?
It doesn't matter.
Whatever you want. And then, okay, great. We'll take care of you for sure. Okay, just
a few minutes.
Okay.
All right, Judge, next is page,
So Vic, you saw that they're gonna do a plea, right?
no, I didn't see
Yeah.
any sleep papers filed.
Well, not yet, but going to, yeah.
Okay. Next, Judge, is page
December.
Beginning,
20, Park,
beginning.
Robin,
It's beginning of December.
You're right, Ozzy. Now is not the time for that. You're right.
Who did you say?
That's for later.
Park, on page 20.
Okay. Come on up. Good morning, Ms. Parks. Do you have a lawyer today?
No.
What are you doing with yourself these days, man? Sorry? You do hair? Okay. How much money do you make a month? Would you like me to appoint your lawyer, man?
Did we find out any names? I wasn't paying attention. And during Judge Fleischer's stream, I don't have time to actually look at the screen and look at the people. Do we have any idea who this person is? Who this person is? Where's the other guy? The other guy. And who this person is? Do we have any names yet? So Venus and Maiko can't answer these questions either, so don't expect them to answer my question. They're just as busy as I am. Who are these guys? All right. Somebody needs to figure out their names next stream, which is in a couple hours. It can't be me, Linus, or Maiko. It probably could be Fozzie, but he's working, so he won't be there. And we have to find out if they have a cat. Oh, thanks. Yeah, you did say that. You're right. I don't listen. Thank you.
Actually, I have it on file now. Okay, just take a seat from in the jury box, man. Can you point here, lawyer?
Vicky, I
In
don't
the
pay
jury box.
attention to my own stream. I never watch my own stream. I play in the chat.
All All right, Judge, next is page 26. We'll call it up the sign. Rocha, Melissa, come on up.
Oh, hold on a second. This is no PC. Right?
There's two of them.
Oh.
Listen, refile, so we're gonna dismiss it today.
Ms. Rocha, do you have a lawyer today? Tell me what you're doing about that.
I was in the process of looking, but I ended up losing my job charge.
So how do you survive now?
I'm back with my parents.
Good. Do you
My
work?
kids.
Have you tried to look for more
Oh,
work?
yeah, and I've got denied because of this pending charge. I have another charge connected to this, so it's just pretty hard right now.
One person said no. It's probably at a bank.
When did you get fired?
The end of last week, really. It was either I hadn't been there for for 6 months, so I couldn't move to the warehouse because I'm a merchandiser, and of course my license, like I can't have any deans, of course not a DUI. So that affected me 100%.
Do you mind giving an application, please? Okay, we'll give you an application. I need you to fill it out. I need to know everything about you, how many cars. Okay, and then you want to go sign a reset now, then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box.
This way. All right, Judge, page 35, Washington, come on up.
Please say it's Jorge or George. Look, I don't ask for much. I just want his name to be George, please. Please.
Morning, Mr. Washington. Do you have a lawyer today? Sir. Tell me what you're doing about that. Right now. How many lawyers have you actually called? Maybe like 2. Okay, you need to call a lot more. There are a gajillion lawyers out there. 2 is not enough. You need to find 20 if you need to find one that fits you. Do you understand? Okay, we'll give you more time. Head on over there. We'll have you sign a reset. Hey, John. Ready?
Just to talk about Mr. Cruz. He's in custody, Judge. He went on Eric and Nathan put him on a probation back last year. And he's back with 2 hammer cases up in felony. Those are set till 10/28. I'm just requesting.
Hernandez, right?
Let's double check it.
Antonio Cruz.
Yes, Antonio Cruz. Just want to ask you if I can just get one reset on it, so I can touch base with felony up there and see what's going on. By that time, he'll probably have plenty of time for a time, sir.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. He picked up an.
Oh, yeah. Aggravated situation, with, he's not gonna make bond.
How
So
long do you want?
just maybe just right after felony, it's coming up in September, I think, October 8th, I'm sorry, it's his felony date.
But the day after that's.
That's gotcha. We'll figure out something.
Okay, all right. Gotcha. So on this one now, he's on probation with us. He picked up the aggravated sexual assault and the burglary, so 300. Something like that.
Bruce is in the hall.
No, days. I mean, I'll have it by then anyways.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Judge, Bruce is in the holdover.
It already is.
It's at 10K.
I set the bond at 10,000, yeah. We filed a motion and revoked it, right?
That was because he messed up his probation, but because he picked up his cases.
We'll just leave it. He's nearly 200,000 up there now, so. Yeah. Okay, Johnny, have fun.
That's it.
Wait, you got it? Okay. Mr. Cobb, you tested positive for cocaine again today. Cocaine stays in your system for 4 days in urine, give or take. I will give you the benefit of the doubt until
7 days.
Thursday. If you still test positive on Thursday, you know what happens. Don't use.
I have.
Set you off till Thursday and we'll see you then.
Thank you, Judge.
For sure. I'm not ready to modify his bond conditions one iota yet. Not until I know
Okay.
it's clean, not using, but.
Okay, we can revisit that at a later date, Judge.
there's
I appreciate it.
time. I'm just, until I know that he's clean, I'm not doing anything, you know?
I appreciate that. And Judge, the only other thing I would say is that this case was a 2B. So these events took place back in February. So there has been a sufficient cooling off period and no additional events since then, if that helps you at all in any way. I just wanted to throw
Got
that
it.
out there.
Have you had a
Thank you,
chance to
sir.
speak?
The complainant in this case, Judge?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, I was able to speak with her briefly this morning. She did make known to me, that she doesn't want to press charges, and that, you know, she's happy with the bond conditions as they are with the no contact. She stated that there has not been any or attempted contact, and that she wants it to stay that way. As far as, I know that she had said something about a potential child. I don't have any information on that. And then as far as the facts of the event, she told me that it was too long to go through.
Bottom line, I'm not gonna do anything until I know he's clean. And at that point, we can revisit it, but I'm just, while he's using, I'm not taking any chances, especially with the high stress of a baby on the way. Hell no.
Yes, Judge. I understand.
Okay. All right, we'll see you then.
Thank you,
Thursday.
Judge.
Ms. Phillips, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir.
Did you sign those already? The affidavits.
Oh. Okay.
Thank you.
Judge, I have one more, Judge. This is Mr. Sabelas.
Which?
Sabelas. He's got two deputized for us here, Judge. This is the one that you brought back out. You wanted to TRAS, but he ended up taking 5 years TBC upstairs on his motion to adjudicate. He took that on, I think, the 3rd.
What do you want to do in these cases?
They're just gonna time serve him. Just,
Both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just.
He took 5 years, I mean, so
Yeah.
let's send him send him to prison. For sure.
That's.
You want to do it today? Is he here?
Yeah, he's here.
Let's do it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, you are Nora Jadira.
حضرتك اسمك نورا جديرة.
نعم.
Yes.
You are charged with tampering with a government record.
أنت متهمة بإنك لعبتي بأوراق حكومية.
You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine.
Judge, can you repeat the fine, please?
And up to a year and or a $4,000 fine.
أنت رح تغرمي يا بيكون تقريبا لحد الأقصى سنة بالحبس أو $4,000 تهمة أو الاثنين سوا مع بعض الحكمين اثنين.
We are going to do probable cause.
رح نقوم تحتك تحت الشرطي الجزء الشرطي.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you.
وبحق لك أنت هلا تضلي صامتة وأي شيء بتقوليه أو بتحكيه يمكن يستعمل ضدك بالمحكمة.
Remember to go slow. Okay.
On September 15th, 2024,
بتاريخ 15 أيلول 2024
officers conducted a traffic stop.
شرطي وقفك على Can you repeat? Officer stopped her where?
Just conducted a traffic stop
شرطي وقفك على الطريق.
near the 1300 block of West Sam Houston Parkway.
تقريبا حد 1300 هيوستن باركواي الشارع بيكون هذا العنوان.
Officer observed the defendant's car
الشرطي راقب السيارة تبعك
with an expired dealer tag.
وكان في عليها تاريخ منتهي الصلاحية فيما يتعلق بالعلامة المحطوطة على سيارتك.
The tag had a return to a stolen Hyundai.
الاشياء اللي كان موجود على السيارة بينتمي لسيارة مسروقة ماركة هونداي.
The return also showed tag to be voided.
ولقى انه التاج اللي كنت حاطيها غير يعني منهي صلاحيتها.
Tag was voided as of August 9th, 2024.
واخر صلاحيتها كانت بشهر 9/9/2024.
QR code on tag
وكان في الكود الموجود على التاج
showed the tag to be voided as well.
كمان فرجى انه هيدا التاج منتهي صلاحيته.
Reason for being voided
السبب يلي انتهاء الصلاحية
was the tag being damaged.
لأنه التاج كان already معرض يعني خربان يعني مش صالح للاستعمال.
The officer made contact with the defendant.
الحكي ساعتها الشرطي مع حضرتك.
The defendant stated she worked for the dealer.
وانت قلتي للشرطي انك انت بتشتغلي للشخص يلي هو عنده هالسيارات هيدي يلي عنده.
The defendant stated she was on her way to drop off the vehicle.
وانت قلتي له للشرطي انك انت رايحه توصلي السياره لعند الديلر.
The defendant stated the tag had just been printed.
وانت قلتي له للشرطي انه هيدا التاج اللي اعطوك اياه هلا مطبوع طبعوا لك اياه.
Defendant stated she did not notice tag printed was sold.
ومنا عارف انت منك عارفه انه هيدا التاج اللي عاطينك اياه كان مباع.
The officer asked the defendant
الشرطي سألك
if she knew the correct way to obtain the tag.
إذا بتعرفي الطريقة الصحيحة لحتى تحصلي على هالتاج.
The defendant nodded her head yes.
وأنت هزيتي براسك وقلتي أجل.
The defendant stated her brother usually helps.
وأنت قلتي إنه عادة أخوك هو اللي بيساعدك.
The defendant stated she posts the vehicle on Facebook.
وأنت قلتي إنك حطيتي العربية على فيسبوك.
The defendant stated when she prints the tags.
وأنت قلتي لما طبعتي التاج.
Her brother helps her.
أخوك ساعدك.
During the traffic stop, her brother sent a picture.
وخلال الشرطي وقتها كان موقفك أخوك بعت لك صورة.
The picture showed a new Texas dealer tag.
والصورة بتفرجي صورة اللي بيكون بيبيعوا هول السيارات صورة جديدة.
That dealer tag was also voided.
وكمان هيدي التاج تبع الديلر كمان كانت منتهي صلاحيتها مش صحيحة.
That's all.
هيدا كل شيء.
Miss Jadira, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case.
سيدة جديرة عم بيقول لك إنه بناء على الأشياء اللي عرضوها هلا إنه لازم نكفي بهيدي القضية. بدها تضل القضية مفتوحة.
Tell me, are you a United States citizen?
هل أنت مواطنة أمريكانية؟
You are a citizen of the United States. Do you have a Texas driver license?
هل عندك دفتر سواقة من ولاية تكساس؟
أنا جاية من نيوجيرسي.
I'm coming from New Jersey.
It's not my question. Do you have a Texas driver's license?
هيدا مش سؤالي، عم بسألك إذا عندك دفتر سواقة من ولاية تكساس.
Do you have a New Jersey driver's license?
هل عندك دفتر سواقة من نيو جيرسي؟
How long
Yes.
have you been here in Harris County?
قديش أنت إلك بهيدي الولاية بالكاونتي تبع هاريس؟
4 شهور.
4 months.
Are you planning on making this your domicile? Are you planning on living here in Harris County?
هل تنوين إنه أنت تقيمي وتعيشي بهاريس كاونتي تضلي بالمقاطعة هون؟
Then the
Yes.
law says you need to get a Texas driver's license.
القانون بيقول إنه لازم تحصلي على دفتر سواقة من ولاية تكساس.
In fact, you have 2 weeks to get your Texas driver license according to the Texas Transportation Code.
بالواقع عندك أسبوعين لحتى تقدري تحصلي على دفتر هالسواقة بناء لقوانين التنقل بالولاية.
I'm now giving you 2 weeks to surrender your New Jersey license and get a Texas one.
وأنا هلأ بعطيكي أسبوعين لحتى تسلمي دفتر سواقة تبع نيوجيرسي وتحصلي على دفتر سواقة من ولاية تكساس.
Do you have liability insurance in your name?
هل عندك ضمان على السيارة باسمك أنت؟
أنا ما عندي سيارة، هذه سيارة الديلر.
I don't have a car. This car is for the dealer.
For whichever car you drive, you have to have liability insurance.
لأي سيارة بتسوقيها حتى لو السيارة مش لإلك لازم يكون عندك ضمان على السيارة.
If you do not, I'm going to order you not to drive.
إذا ما حتجيبي ضمان على السيارة أنا رح أأمرك بعدم السواقة.
So, Mr. Mercer, what we're going to do is we will set this case off 2 weeks. And I want her to show me that she has, number one, she surrendered her New Jersey license to get a Texas one, and she has to show proof of liability insurance.
القاضي قال له للمحامي تبعك انه معك اسبوعين بده يفرجي من هذا الاسبوعين يفرجي انه انت سلمتي دفتر السواقه تبع نيوجيرسي وحصلتي على دفتر قدمتي طلب تحصلي على دفتر سواقه من ولايه تكساس وبتفرجي كمان انه عندك ضمان على السياره.
I'm making it a condition of your bond now.
رح يحط شرط على بالنسبه لما يتعلق بهيدي القيمه الماليه اللي كانوا بده يجرموكي عليها في شرط هلا.
Whichever car you drive, you must have liability insurance with your name on it.
أي سيارة بتسوقيها لازم يكون في ضمان بتجيبيه على السيارة باسمك أنت.
If I find that you do not, I will put you in jail.
وإذا ما عملتي هالشي هيدا أنا بحطك بالحبس.
She's speaking to him. It has to be English.
Okay, so we will bring you back in 2 weeks. Please show us that you have surrendered the license, get a Texas one, and then we will continue to allow you to drive. Okay?
So بنرجع بنشوفك بعد أسبوعين بس تفرجينا هالشروط اللي حكينا عليها وساعتها بنخليكي ترجعي تسوقي.
Thank you.
Man, I missed that today because I was deleting comments. That was awesome. I could listen to her all day long. She was on before. I love her. That was really, 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 really cool. I'm glad I got to see it.
Okay, guys, thanks. I'm gonna have her sign this promise that she's not gonna drive without insurance, and then you guys are good to go.
Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am, see you in 2 weeks.
Melissa, since Linus isn't here, I love you.
Okay, Your Honor.
Thank you so much for the help.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I can log off, correct?
Yes, ma'am, thanks.
No,
Thank
don't
you.
leave. Please come back.
Appreciate it.
Talk to us more.
Right this way.
Yeah, that was just all around great.
Just so you know, in the dark, you
Loved
can
it.
see the guy's face. Yes.
Okay, sorry, keep you waiting.
That's all right. How are you doing, Your Honor?
Hey, what's new?
I'm just it's an off-docket matter. You just sent an email saying my client had a bond violation, sent it for 27th. So I came off docket on the 18th. That was when you were out. That was the one where they gave you a call and said, hey, basically,
who's your client?
Kabir. I have a cause number.
I got it right here.
Got it. Yeah, but basically his interlock was locked out because he wasn't driving it. But he's got scram, so he's just been Ubering everywhere. There's been no reported violations as far as I'm aware on the of drinking alcohol. Yeah.
Okay, so we're good?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
great.
yeah, and then the only other thing I just want to follow up on that, the part of the bond conditions that were set.
Goat Lewis is the best. Goat Lewis is my favorite, period. I love Goat Lewis. Nope, that's a lawyer. Hold on. I want to get past the lawyers. John D., I love you, but
Mr. Savalos, good morning. Good morning. So I hear that you signed for 5 years in prison, huh? That makes me happy, because you're a very dangerous person. While you're in prison, our streets are safe. I want you to know now that you have 2 DWIs with us, and you're pleading guilty to both of those DWIs today. What that means is that you now have 2. If you pick up another DWI, you will be facing a 3rd-degree felony. And it's very possible that with that 3rd-degree felony, when you pick up a serious felony and you have at least 1 pen trip, you could be looking the next time at a 15 minimum, 15 to life case. When you have 2 pen trips, you're labeled as a true habitual. And at that point, it's a minimum of 25 to life. That's what you could potentially be looking at if you ever get in a car and even have a remote smell of anything funky on your breath or in the car. Because with your record, you get pulled over, they're going to immediately harass, harangue, and do whatever they can to you.
now we are all mad at you, Donald. All of us.
So don't give them the opportunity. If you want to get lit, just don't get into a car. Easy enough. Your whole life, if you just don't get into a car, you'd be out in the free world.
Yes, sir.
When you get to prison, do something with yourself. The education there is free. Get a degree. Get a high school diploma. Do something good when you come out. We don't want you to go for 15 years. You know what I mean? And if you're going to come out and continue, just don't kill anyone. That's all we're asking. It's not much. On both of the DBIs, on one, are we keeping the 15 enhancement on the first one? Do you know?
It's a 0.15 because it's 0.2, but.
Is it true that you had at least a 0.15 or above, Mr. Savalos? True enhancement. So on that one, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. On your other DWI, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement where it's basically time served. We're giving you credit for all the time that you've done. However, like I said, both of these DWIs will reflect a conviction. So anytime you're in Texas, wherever you go, you get pulled over, you get another charge, you're looking at a 3rd-degree felony, a minimum of 2 to 10 in the prison. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. Is this what you want to do?
I wish I
How do you
would
plead
have
to the
gone to
offenses,
prison
sir? Guilty or
instead.
not guilty? I will find you guilty.
I
True to the
will never
enhancement
be
on the
able to
first
pay it
case.
off.
And what time are we looking at? How's that even possible? Dude's been in custody for how long? You been in custody?
About 3 weeks.
That's it? No.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 21 days. That sounds about right. So.
All right, well, it is what it is. I mean, it's 3 days with 19 days credit on one, and then it's 3 days with 21 credit on the other one. I will send it to these I'm now going to suspend your license for a year on both of these cases. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to Mr. Smalls. All right.
I'm Karen Walker. I've been told that.
Where's Mr. Walker now?
He was just
Walker,
here.
Mr. Walker, come up. Deputy, I might need you real quick, ma'am. Okay.
The issue is that he's testing negative,
Coffee's ready. Be
but
right
it's
back.
showing for the lab result diluted. And Judge, I don't know why it's showing that, but
I know why.
well, I don't know how much, my question would be, how much water does someone have to consume for it to show diluted?
They have other things that you can take at high times that will dilute it. It's not just a matter of drinking 15 gallons of water. There are other masking agents that they use to dilute to.
If someone takes a diuretic?
I don't know about a diuretic, but I mean, just there are other things that you could take at high times to mask what you're doing. And I told you now, a dilution was just as good as testing positive with me. With all the drama you've given us, absolutely not.
I've been on a strict diet, so I haven't been drinking a lot of soda. Or I barely drink water. I barely drink juice. I've been drinking a lot of water. I've been cleaning out my system, flushing my system to make sure I stay clean. Because like you told me, and like I've made sure that my lawyer know I'm trying to stay clean, trying not to mess up in any way. Sir, I'm telling you, I have not. I've been completely clean, sir.
I want to do a deeper dive because I want to know more about the dilution. I'm not taking your word for it. Like you telling me something goes in one ear, goes out the other ear.
I'm telling you, I've been listening to you. I do not want to go back to jail. Everything I'm supposed to do. Like I said, I've been on a strict diet a lot, and I have been drinking a lot of water only because it flush out my system to get the THC out. That's it. I've been drinking a lot of spring water, cucumber water, and juice, and
Because of your prior positive.
Yes.
Not because of a new positive.
No,
Correct.
because my prior positive, you got on me. You said if it happened again, and I've been drinking a lot of cranberry juice, a lot of water. That's flush out your system. That's just natural way I've been fine to get out all the THC out.
I already told you what was going to happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Diluted sample, and they're telling me how many diluted samples are you saying? So regardless, I'm not making a decision now. We need to hear more.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Keep me the jury.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See if we can get some information.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a diluted sample, it's.
Judge, I don't know under what circumstances those pop up. If they're only popping up if someone drinks more water than the average person.
Have to drink I don't know. We'll see.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. LeGrand.
Please, Judge.
Ready when you're.
Eric Thomas.
Hey, did Ian Terrell check in too or no?
No, but Josh is gonna approach you in treatment and I forwarded you.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail. Credit for the 2 days that you've done. You need to understand this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your natural born life. This is important because if you're ever pulled over in a car, the first thing an officer does is they're going to look at your record and they're going to see a DWI. If they come to your car, if they come up to you and they smell alcohol, what do you think they're going to do to you? What we're doing today, the proverbial slap on the wrist will not happen again. You are facing up to 30 days in jail for any other DWIs that you pick up in here. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So no more slaps on the wrist. You are giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine the accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal once you plead guilty. You can never change this. Is this what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to the offense for guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty I have to suspend your license. I will do it for the minimum, which is 90 days, sir. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to you. He's gonna have to pay the surcharge, right? It's, no, I mean, you're gonna have to pay the surcharge. How's he indigent?
He doesn't have, he has over $6,000 in debt. He just moved from Houston to Dallas. His take-home pay after bills is roughly $800.
What do you do for a living, sir?
Just started a job as an assistant manager at a restaurant.
Okay, how much money do you make a month?
I just started, so I don't know yet. And they didn't have a paycheck yet, Judge. That's why we had trouble figuring out what the take-home.
I just, Mr. LeGrand, normally I would do it all day, but why am I gonna reward him for doing absolutely nothing on this diversion program? All he did was continue to use while he was in it.
He did use, yes, Judge, but he didn't do nothing. He did intensive outpatient, he did supportive outpatient. He was in it for almost a year.
Shatoria, if anything.
He tested positive to get recruited, which is, yeah.
That's, you can't.
That's fair. We're not arguing that. That's why we're pleading guilty, but he wasn't one that just absconded and didn't do anything.
I have a hard time rewarding someone with $3,500 in fees when they're just,
I understand, Judge, but it's not really rewarding someone that just can't afford to pay the fees and he ends up in that cycle.
What we do is we give them a 2-year payment plan and they pay $50 a month, so we give them time to pay. It's not, we don't strap them, It's Shatoria, how did Mr. Thomas do while he's in the diversion program, other than continue to drink? What were you doing before this in Dallas?
I was a GM at a restaurant here.
You were a GM at a restaurant?
Yes, sir.
In Dallas?
No, in Houston.
In Houston, which restaurant?
Guys.
Okay. Why stop being a GM?
Because I stepped down because I don't have time for myself. I need to get myself back together, trying to get back in school and move on.
So where are you managing now?
Zaxby's.
Okay. And who do you live with?
So it looks like he had completed all of his requirements outside of IOP. He was tested positive and they had placed him on a 0 tolerance. Tested positive.
Did you do the DOB education class, the victim impact panel?
He did all of that. He just didn't complete IOP. And he had fees.
I think that's certainly in the make. It's the sanction.
Is it possible still to do IOP?
They already removed him from the program, so I would have to put him back on some sort of probation if you want to miss that. So he tested positive for THC and alcohol March 27th. He tested positive for THC on July 2nd. He was a no-show on August 8th, and then on August 12th, he tested positive for THC and alcohol.
Everywhere I look, John, everywhere I look right
And that's
now.
not something, I mean, we can't pay for IOP for him, can we? The problem I have, Mr. Thomas, is that when we're too nice to people, you know what they do? They take advantage of us. I'm telling you, it's the problem. When we're too nice to people and when we don't give them a hard time, they run all over us. It's like little children, So that's why I have a hard time just rewarding you and giving you, just rolling this $3,500. I don't know, Leslie. I don't know.
Well, I understand, Judge. I don't know. I mean, what I can tell you.
What I'd like to do is have him do IOP, and if he does it, then quash the $3,500.
117 people viewing at 6:30 in the morning. Guys, go to bed. 119. What are you doing awake? Shouldn't you be sleeping? Sleep is so good. Sorry, back to work.
It's like, kind of like a
Oh,
reward
lost one.
system, but I can't do it, right? Because that's what I'm saying.
All I can do is tell you is what I told you, which is I do think it's just an empty burden. I think my fear is beyond, I see how you're thinking of, my fear is it gets in that cycle where we have a suspended license that keeps going and going and going. And you and I both know how that happens once you get in DPS, it's suspended license database, you're there forever.
Mr. Thomas, I will roll your court costs today. If I see you back here though, because I'm gonna notate everything that we do here as soon as you walk out of here now, I'm
Try
gonna
to just
notate everything.
cruise through today.
And if I see you back here with a new case, it's just really not gonna go well. We lead the nation in DWI fatalities in this county. It's freaking disgusting. It's sick when all you have to do is take a damn Uber. Literally, how much money have you given Mr. LeGrand? How much money have you paid through all the bullshit that you've done this entire 591 days that you've been with us? How much money have you paid when literally a $20 button is all you need to push wherever you want to go? Don't come back, because if you do, I'm going to light you up. So on everything that's holy. Do you understand? All right.
Thank you.
Lori, if you're
Yeah.
close to Pennsylvania, I
Hey,
will
man.
come.
Hi, Mr. Barrera, Ignacio Barrera.
Gary coming?
Talk to the CMO counsel?
Nope, sorry, Lori, you're on your own. I like you, but I don't like you like you.
Okay. Ignacio Barrera.
Yes, sir. He was on docket last week. We were just waiting for the PTI contract. We received the contract, so we just need a couple of weeks so he can do the things he needs to do. He had a bond violation because he missed a drug test last week. He went this morning and he was negative.
Let him know that if he ever misses it again, no matter what excuse he has, okay?
Yes, sir. He's in the jury box and
Come up. Does he speak Spanish or English?
He's in English.
CJ's here. Congratulations, guys.
Ever missing?
CJ's son just graduated high school today, yesterday, now, whatever. Isn't that exciting? That's so exciting.
Another test, Mr. Barrera, I'm gonna knock you off. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you ever miss a test in this program here, I'm gonna kick you out, and then you're gonna end up just like the other gentleman right behind you. Do you understand?
Sir.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. And then my other case was Gutierrez, Ivan. And that one, Judge, it was an OTC last time. It's a .07 DWI. The state's looking at it to see what they're gonna do today.
Heads up.
Okay, thanks.
Your Honor, I have an off docket case. It is
Okay.
2488340.
They don't have time for off docket cases right now, sir.
You know, Mr. Perry, I'm not a smart man. Yeah, and I may look stupid, but I'm just not. And every once in a while, I get these little hairs that just kind of tingle on me, and it tells me something. I sent you for a drug test, and you tested positive for amphetamines, buprenorphine, fentanyl, and methamphetamine. It stops today. The next time you test positive, I will hold you in contempt slap you with 180 days, probate it for 2 years, and put you in an inpatient rehab facility. Do you understand? That's what happens from today. If you cannot get the demons off your back, then I'm gonna do it for you, and I promise you're not gonna like the way that I do. Do you understand? Take a seat for me in the jury box. Slide. You ready? Let's do it. Did we attach someone to this case? Did we attach Asha or?
I did.
You did? Okay. Will you remind me what his last name was? What last name?
Cummings.
Oh, Cummings. Okay.
He's on your docket.
Yeah. We got it. So, Mr. Cummings, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with driving while intoxicated, and I think you're also charged with felony evading as well.
Felony evading is gonna be dismissed, Judge, after we do.
You know, Mr. Cummings, I'm gonna tell you that anytime you can avoid a felony conviction, it's a win. Anytime. But I'm gonna tell you now, they don't do this again and again and again and again. So if you do this behavior again, try to evade in a car, where you put hundreds of other people's lives in danger with this 4,000-pound missile that you're careening over at however fast you're going, it's not gonna happen again.
Honestly, I just put in my driveway, but I understand.
Don't matter where you're pulling into. You're pulling into the land of Oz. I don't care.
Understand.
The other thing you need to understand is that this will still show up on your record. So whenever you get pulled over by an officer, they're going to see all this stuff. They will instantaneously give you a hard time. And if you smell like booze, you smell like dope, anything funky, you will go down. This will not happen again, especially on a DWI. You understand? You don't get 2 bites of the apple. It looks like you guys have worked out an agreement where they are offering you 180 days in jail to be, oh, we're doing straight probation.
No, we're doing it.
It's straight probation on our end.
It's written up as a straight.
It should be a deferred.
Yeah, Michael.
Is it a straight probation or deferred? You wrote a straight probation. Just on.
Was it deferred offer?
The defense is saying it should have been deferred. But on our end, it only says straight probation, so the defendant coming, we are coming. Yes.
Yes, we don't do DWI deferreds. It's a probation.
Don't. The law says that they do.
Yeah, if you guys want to go talk real quick, and then if they're willing to go with that and agreed rec, I'm okay with it as well. But you guys, let me know.
I'm gonna wait until Fozzie tells me what color his shirt is.
Take a seat for me momentarily, will you? And then just let me know when you're ready, Lon. Okay, for sure.
What did you say, Melissa? What?
It's lost.
I everything touch.
Hi.
She has a great laugh.
Yeah, let me just sign this so we can get her. I found it. Okay, let me get myself saved.
No, if Fozzie was in chat, Bren would have some explaining to do.
Okay, done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fozzie.
Really? That's from people? Well, no. Okay. They may charge it as people because that's who the complaining witness is. but typically it's still a location. Like if you look on the information, it'll have someone's name. Because it's not gonna say Dillard's, it's not gonna say Macy's, because they have to list a particular individual. Usually that's like a loss prevention officer, right? That's what they normally, so let me look and see. I need your help, Alex. Okay, we're talking about Ms. Visor. Right? She's the one that.
Everybody, I need you to help me remember this because I ain't going to. His name is Alex, like Alex Trebek. Think Alex Trebek when you see him. You're all old enough to know who that is. His name is Alex. We got it? We good?
That has all those death cases. What I'd like to do is go through each one of those death cases and see what the location was. Like, are there Macy's and oh, you are? Okay. Okay, great. Well, I'm not gonna
Fried
say,
oatmeal
but
is really
I
easy
guess
to clean.
I'm still gonna forbid her from going to all these places, right? If you guys are gonna do that, but I'm still like, that's just, it's out of control. It's, give me a second, let me find out. And let's go through all the locations to figure it out. Haley, or hold on a second. Yeah, because I want to make sure she's not going. I'm not gonna take her word for it, you know?
Because I want to draft it, and then once we get out the locations. then I'll-
Yeah, yeah.
So do you want to-
Okay, so Alex, you ready? Yes, Your Honor. So one on the 144-5488, where's that one from? Walmart, okay, of course. So the next one is 226-43. Where's that?
Yep, it's my fault in my house too. It's my fault.
Also Walmart, okay? The
The
next
dump,
one is
the avalanche of dishes
2266794.
when they clean their room.
Where's that?
Now I'm getting stressed out.
One moment, Your Honor.
My dog only eats food I cook.
At a Family Dollar.
Okay, Family Dollar.
Speaking of fairies, we had an enchanted fairy festival here going on this last week, and it was all canceled because of weather. Our enchanted fairy had hail. An enchanted fairy festival. Now I couldn't have went because I work. But can you imagine going to an enchanted fairy festival? That sounds amazing. And it was canceled. That sounds horrible.
And if you're ready for us, Judge.
Okay.
And you've got it too, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
I did that like 18 times.
3, 4.
Good morning, Ms. Rollins.
Good morning.
Ma'am, you're charged with evading arrest or detention. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 4 days that you've done. You need to understand, ma'am, that this is an enhanceable offense. What that means is that this is going on your record. If you ever ditch or run from the cops again, they can use this now to enhance you to a felony offense where now you're looking at years instead of days. Do you understand? You are giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers, the right to be arraigned, charged, read in open court, right to remain silent. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Just, I don't see any prior criminal history, no deferreds you don't want to do.
We've spoken with the state about that. She has
Oh,
some other background.
got it. Okay. How do you plead to the offense of evading arrest or detention? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty. The only other thing you must understand, Ms. Rollins, is from now on, you'll be facing a minimum of 90 days in jail for anything that you pick up in. You understand? All right, ma'am. Good luck to you. Thanks.
Judges for the court Costco.
You're appointed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
of
I
course.
just want to make sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's you.
Yes, ma'am. Hey. Hi, Holly. My name is David Fleischer. I'm a judge here in Harris County. I am a judge of one of the misdemeanor courts, and I have a defendant that's on docket today. And we were sent a letter today that he is enrolled with you guys. And so I'm calling to make sure that he is there. He's just not evading us. Ian Terrell. Looks like the date, the date this letter says is he was admitted, or I guess the letter is dated 9/22/24, and it does not have an expected discharge date. Yeah, it says date of admission is 9/22/24. Anticipated discharge, it just has a cross as TBD. And it's by Melissa Mary. Great. Thanks. Hey, can I send this to you? You print this out. You can put it in the file. For some reason, it's not letting me print it.
Yes.
Judge, I'm going to reapproach tomorrow after I make some amendments for.
Sure, okay, and take your time.
Thank you.
Sorry, James, I'm on hold.
Oh, no worries, Judge. I think we're almost ready for approach.
That's it.
Okay, so I spoke with him. He said he was getting over a cold and he took NyQuil, DayQuil. That's what we think happened. He's not been drinking. He's
That's cute.
That's, Your Honor, that is what the,
Cute.
So Judge, that's what I mean, I don't have any medical paperwork from him at this moment. I can try and get some, see if he's been to the doctor, or maybe a receipt for the NyQuil or DayQuil. He said it was the Walgreens.
Test
version.
positive for alcohol here. That tells me you literally just consumed alcohol.
sir, I did not drink.
What kind of lab result do you have?
I don't have, I just have the
No, no, I'm
beer.
talking to.
Never heard that one before.
Rachel. And let me tell you at the outset, Mr. Bird, you are warned what you can and can't take.
Sure.
And we warn you, and not just once, but you're warned multiple times. And you sign paperwork to the effect that you're not to take any of this stuff, including NyQuil or anything that has alcohol in it. Do you understand?
Yes.
And do you know how many people come here and tell me they take NyQuil? Take a guess. How many times people have told me that?
Your reaction, I'm assuming it's pretty common.
He took the test on 9/12, I believe, and it was considered not to confirm it as well.
Do we know levels? Do we know, what do we know? He took a breath test or what did he take? Or urine? What was it?
The urine test, Your Honor.
Dude, shut up.
The breath they can blow and it tells you,
Mhm.
but for urine.
The lab was done. It's over a week ago, 9/12. Can we not get results?
No, we have the.
Can you will you mind sending it to me?
Send it to all of us if you're gonna send it to him. I'll put it on.
That he was accepted into PTI. We had requested, this is from the notes that I have from Derek, his attorney, that a TRAS was requested. I'm unaware if it was completed, but it looks like it was done, or it should have been done on the 13th.
The assessment was done.
So he did complete the
I
TRAS.
get it, but I'm still gonna put him in jail if he tests positive for alcohol, Mr. Bird. It's a no-no. There has to be consequence to your behavior. If I let you go, what does it tell you?
Your Honor, I did not drink.
I don't believe you.
And Judge, I
The
could
test that
suggest,
tells me differently.
I
I'd
could
be
suggest
willing
a
to test
scram
you.
device and see if we can get tested as well today.
The test today means nothing because I know that I already have the results. And for you to test positive when we have you come in, I mean, that means you really just considered. That's.
I think he was getting over that cold at that time, and that's why he was on the
It doesn't matter.
NyQuil and DayQuil as well.
Let's do this. I'm gonna wait for her to send me what she has.
Yes, Judge.
And take a seat for me in the jury box. Just
Thank you, Judge.
see what she has. And I want to see what kind of level it is, you know?
Yes, Judge. I just don't know if there's gonna be a BAC with a urine test. If it'll show.
It should have some kind of levels, you know? And
Yes, Judge.
I don't know. Let's see what they have, you know? And then
I'll just grab a seat and wait. Thank you, Judge.
You want to approach? Are you okay for approaching now?
And so Judge, on Mr. Walker, I don't think we have any like additional.
Most of the beers that I serve are, 5%, 5%-ish. We do serve 10% beers, but those are high octane. Now, I know he's probably not drinking as much NyQuil as I serve in beer if he was taking NyQuil. But NyQuil, 10%, 20 proof. So yeah, it's gonna show up on a test.
Information as far as the dilution, but is there any way, Judge, we could just reset it to Thursday and see if we can not have a diluted sample? I think he's just drinking water, Judge.
David for a second.
Nice,
And
nice.
come up, Mr. Terrell. Mr. Terrell. Not Mr. Terrell, it's
Harry Potter cup. Isn't it cute?
Walker, that's right.
And all of his, everything they says for is negative except for keratin. It came back
Poop does not contain alcohol unless it's Fozzie's.
You can't, there's a diluted sample, so you can't really tell because it's all masks. It's all masked because of whatever he's doing to dilute the sample. So that's the problem, is he's doing something to trick us into diluting the sample so we can't tell what he's taking. Mr. Walker, you have open at this time a possession of marijuana 2 to 4 ounces, a possession of a controlled substance. You pick up another possession of 4 ounces to 5 pounds. You have a DWI with a child passenger, which is, what is it, like a 3-year-old, right? And then the car is filled with marijuana smoke, and you have a veritable pharmacy of dope in the car with you. This isn't the first bond violation, and you also have a gun. You have so many bond violations that your bond is now at 45,006 on all of our cases. And I told you, when you got out, if you had any issues, you would be going back to jail. I told you no diluted samples. I said no positive samples. Strict compliance was required. You have now five diluted samples.
Dude.
It just comes back as an abnormal levels of keratin, but everything else is negative.
No words can say it right now. Seriously, that's maybe that word.
You can't tell that though. You can't tell if he's using cocaine, benzodiazepine, phencyclidine, because it's diluted.
I will take another test right now.
I don't care about tests now. The 5 prior tests that you've had have all been diluted. 5 prior tests have been diluted. I'm now revoking your bond again. Goes with you.
Should we give him a test on Thursday and see if it comes back?
No. Mr. Walker, you have a freaking pharmacy of illegal drugs in your car with a 3 to 4-year-old in a plume of marijuana smoke.
I've been taking everything.
Time and again, I can't get through to you.
I've been taking everything you say seriously.
No.
I'm completely sober.
Judge, what would you be setting his new bonds at?
90,007 on all of them.
90,000
I think they have an offer.
7. Did he say 90,007 on all of them? All of them might, I don't know if it's 2 or it's 20 because I wasn't really paying attention. But I'm just going to assume it's 2, even if it's just 2. 90,007. Guys, if my bond was 90,007, would you guys get me out? Please? Can you guys get me out? No, just kidding. Leave me there. I would be so mad if someone got me out.
For right now, or Pavel gave us an offer that if he enters felony probation, they'll dismiss his misdemeanors. So let me see if,
No.
The prior chief.
Oh, he's not up there now.
No, Pavel, the chief
Right,
here,
okay,
before he left.
No, but I thought you meant he, like in the felony, because he
Oh, I
moved to
see.
felony court.
No, yes, Judge. Yeah, so he had offered us if we get any sort of felony probation, he'll dismiss the misdemeanor. So I'll see if he wants to work that out. We'll try to-
If they do that, great. What I want to do is I'm going to set him up for a TRAS because I don't know what he needs, man. But
Yes, Judge. And
it's-
I think they're planning on doing that in felony court anyway. So let
I mean,
me,
it looks like he's got felony court, what, a week and a half?
yes, Judge. All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, bud. All three, 90,007. Each 90,007.
And 7?
And 7.
No, I'd skip on bail. Don't do that.
7.
Yes, visit me in
And
jail.
you know what?
Now I'm gonna
My
get
bad.
locked up to see who will visit me.
He's gonna get out. No. He'll probably bond out again. Someone keeps posting the bond. Ricardo.
Judge, I'm approaching on a couple cases. The first is Miss Brianna Senegal, SEN.
Thinking outside the box.
You remember Miss Senegal?
Monday.
Happy Monday, Judge, yeah. So
I forget Miss Senegal.
Good. Well, I got good news, somewhat good news, but it's gonna require a decision from you.
Son of a gun. Lori will not bail me out. Lori is not going to bail me out. You want to know why? I just said I wasn't going to clean her house for her because she lives in Michigan and I'm in Pennsylvania. Wow, I ruined my chance of getting out of jail. Now I'll just have to stay in jail, I guess. And other people will cook and clean for me and I'll get free schooling and medical. I would have medical. I would get to go see a doctor whenever I wanted. This sounds good, guys. And I could get married. I get myself a wifey.
Come up, Mr. Perry.
I'm waving back. See me?
On one ankle, I'm going to put a GPS monitor. On your other ankle, I'm going to put a Scram ankle monitor so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. You are forbidden from driving, and you will be signing an affidavit promising me you're not going to drive. Also, you will be coming here every Monday and Thursday to take drug tests, and the next time you test positive for, why are you looking at him? He's not talking to you. There's nothing that he can do about this. It's me. You tested positive for meth and fentanyl, and you're going to take a lot more drug tests with me. If you don't like it, don't get in trouble. The next time you test positive, I will put you in jail, and you already know what's going to happen. Do you understand? You can try to take care of these demons yourself. If you don't, I'm going to do it for you. It's plain and simple. I don't care what you're, I don't care. If you don't like it, don't get in trouble. Your case, it's a DWI, and it's 454 days, so you've taken off on us a year and a half. You're lucky that you're even walking out of here today, Mr. Perry. Everything that you're going to get happens today. And the next time you take off on me, your bond's going to be so high, your head's going to spontaneously combust. Do you understand? Sorry?
I speak with my lawyer.
Sure.
That's just rude.
Just talk with him. You guys can work something else out, but you guys can go talk. Okay. Come on.
Mr. Jamie De Leon, or Jaime De Leon, excuse me.
We need
It's
a
an
good
illegal
Karen.
dumping case. I see that, he's had,
We need a good Karen in front of Judge Fleischer.
You tested positive for cocaine, huh? Guess what happens now?
yeah.
Good answer. That's right. Dang, clairvoyant. Goes with you.
Judge, what would you be willing to set his bonds at?
5,001 on each.
5,001 on each, okay.
All right, he
I
goes with
miss
you.
Steven. Steven would have loved today. Steven would have had a great day. I imagine Steven like Hightower. There was live fire and he missed out.
Hey,
Hi, Judge. The levels are back.
let's see.
Come on, read them out loud. Share with the class, please, please, please. Carrie, thank you. Oh man, we would have so much fun on a road trip. Anywhere, didn't matter. We go to Nebraska, we would have so much fun. Not that there's anything wrong with Nebraska, guys.
Seen this yet?
Yes, Judge.
Share. What is it? What is it?
Is there someone that I can talk to there about this? State, I'd like you to take a look at this as well, if you wanna.
I feel like I'm married to the judge right now because I'm just frustrated. Come on. Come on. Give me what I need.
We just try to reach out and see if there's someone that we can talk to, because it's in nanograms, so I don't know as far as. Like, is it a 0.01? Is it a 0.02? Because it's in nanograms, so I don't know. I mean, it's 1,167.8 nanograms.
Oh, that doesn't tell me
I need to
anything.
know more, you know?
Somebody translate that
So,
for me.
here, I'll give, so you guys can take a look at this. Do you mind reaching out real quick? Can you give me a couple minutes, see if I can get
Yes,
someone?
Judge. Thank you.
Hey.
Judge.
Epic.
Judge, I am here on Mrs. Shantania Visor, Viser.
I can
Judge,
drive
it's my
all day, all night.
understanding that one of your bond conditions is going to require her to have a monitor on at this time. I'm before you, Honor, to see.
I will pay for it.
That was not the really problem, Judge. The problem is that she's gonna be in the process of looking for a job. She has.
Come up, ma'am. Come up.
Speaking of, where's Will? Have we seen Will lately?
Now proceed, Your Honor. Mrs. Visor informed me that one of her bond conditions given by you was that she has to get a job. And she expressed to me that she has some concerns that when she goes to apply for a job or to search for a job, that the possibility of them seeing the ankle monitor on her leg would deter her from the possibility of getting hired, which I believe that that's a legitimate argument, which I was going to ask Your Honor, would the court be amenable to waive that for at least 3 weeks to see if she could go apply for some jobs without the requirement of the ankle monitor being on during that initial process of job seeking?
When is the last time you've had a full-time job, Ms. Visor? A real?
The last time I had a full-time job was like, I basically did 3 years just a while ago, like, so maybe like 3 years ago.
She can drive. I'll give her an aspirin.
And Judge, for your information, I've already
Rest, relax.
provided the court with the competency examination. I spoke with her And I had an opportunity to speak with the person in the psychiatric hospital that gave me a prescription list for her that she's taken for her anxiety, bipolar disorder, panic attacks, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and she currently has a psychiatric doctor in the civilian world as well. So
I would venture a guess, Ms. Visor, that your lengthy and rich criminal history will pose more of a problem than your ankle monitor. And the fact that it's inconvenient to you makes no difference to me. The only thing I care about is the protection of my public, my Harris County. That's what I care about. And with an ankle monitor, I know where you are. And I've forbidden you from going to many, many stores in this county. And if I don't have the ankle monitor on, I don't know if you're in compliance or not. And God knows I can't take your word for it, right? The only way I have of knowing whether you comply with these conditions is that ankle monitor. I'm even paying for it for you, which is saving you around $500 a month.
I've heard people ask to take the ankle monitor off so they can work. Like they have a hard time working with their ankle monitor on. But this is the first person I've heard say, Judge, can you please take this ankle monitor off so that I can go and look for a job? What?
You also need to be aware that it's very possible, and they've already told me that they're going to seek to file this as a felony charge. So you need to be aware that that's something that's on the horizon. But you got to understand when it continues to happen over and over, over and over and over and over and over and over again, there are some serious consequences that may arise. And just because it's inconvenient for you when the last time you had a job was 3 years ago, makes no difference to me. My only concern is my public. So I'm not taking the ankle monitor off.
Dude,
thank you very much.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Detroit
D, but
Metro. Yeah, I know. I knew it was going to go away. Detroit Metro from Philadelphia for me would be $88 on Spirit Airline. $88 for a round trip. That's not bad. That's easy. That's the cheapest. Sorry, I got confused.
Thank you, sir, for addressing it.
for sure.
I'm approaching off docket and I have a cause number whenever everyone's ready.
Mr. Evans, you'll be next, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry, did I jump ahead?
No,
Okay.
it's okay, but I keep forgetting about him. He's been so patient. Okay, tell me, what is it?
It's 252
Okay,
0486.
okay,
And this is a POM case.
you get it?
Did I get?
Motion?
Yeah, well, so I tweaked the blood discovery order. And so instead of wanting information about blood, it's about the drugs.
Sure, okay, I'll sign it for you.
Okay, thank you.
They're okay with it?
I emailed it to them and I've spoken. I don't know their position. I'll let them.
Yes, Judge, we're okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Sign it for you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe excuse.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Evans.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hey.
I'm approaching about Mr. Acapello. And kind of something similar that you just talked about. He has the GPS monitor and the scramble device. On the leg with the GPS monitor, he has sores. Whereas we're trying to see if there's any other option, or I don't know if there's any alternative GPS monitors that they have that doesn't have to go around.
No, he's on probation for 2 DWIs. They told him not to drive, and they told him not to drive without a interlock, and he's still driving regardless.
Yeah, I understand.
Come up,
completely.
Mr. Akinpelu.
That costs more than my car. These are lies.
So
$39.
he's on 2 probations for felony
Really?
DUIs. And
These are the
he
prices.
picks up a suspended license case with
Oh my
us.
gosh, 1 day and 2
Right.
hours.
Do you know what, if anything, is gonna happen? Mr. Haddad? Mr. Evans, do you know if anything's gonna happen upstairs? Have they filed motions? Are they going to? Do you know?
I have not talked to them upstairs yet. I can find out for you. He hasn't had any drinking violations. He just
Well, we don't know that because he's not in compliance, though. That's the problem, is he's, right?
but he's been having a scram device on this whole time.
I was watching, hearing, listening. I was trying to sleep. YouTube was on, so I don't even know what I was watching. You know, they just play random stuff. They were talking about this poor little boy in Australia. I think he was like 14 years old or something like that. And he was terrified of spiders. He was terrified of spiders. So when they left the house, his dad had to go first. And his dad would get hit with all of the spider webs, all right? However, the kid had a couple of tarantulas at home as pets, which he was fine with because they were tiny spiders. It was this bigger, he was terrified of spiders, but tarantulas were too little for him to call a spider. Now, I don't call my dog a dog, okay? My dog is like, I don't know, this big. Dogs to me are big, 90 pounds and up. My dog is like 20 pounds wet. So yeah, she's not really a dog. She's more like a little toy. But spiders in Australia must be, something to behold if the little ones are tarantulas, the tiny ones.
Well, we just put it on, correct?
No, it was on the
Didn't you have
internet.
a scram device on before this?
It was on the internet, so it has to be true, Rebecca.
Before this one, I was having issue with my leg, so they removed it.
Top of 2.
But I do blow every day.
It looks like the 228th, I don't know if they've even been notified of this new charge. I'm gonna shoot them an email right now and let them know.
Okay.
But there should be an MRP filed subsequent to the self-XP file as well.
So he's in the car driving, there's no interlock, and there, of course, there has to be, right?
You should.
And I think we put a scram on one ankle to make sure he's not drinking. And then I think we put a GPS one also so that he's not out in the middle of the night. I think that's what we did, right?
Right. And I think he just showed me a picture of some sores on his ankle. I told him I'll ask if there's an alternative method, but I understand your position, Judge.
What I would do is I would go to your vendor where you got them and see what you can do to try to fix it somehow so that perhaps they can, let you wear socks, or I guess you can't wear socks, right? Did you hear what she said?
No, I didn't, Judge.
Sorry? Okay.
And Judge, I don't know if you think they no driving affidavits.
Oh, of course we already did that. Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the first. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Akinpelu, but you refuse to comply with bond conditions. So the only way that we know that stuff is getting done is with these monitors on your leg. Because we trusted you the last time with the breath test device, and you refused to use it.
I was using it every day.
But you weren't, though, because you were caught driving a vehicle that didn't have an interlock on.
I wasn't. I don't drive every day.
Okay, look, regardless, I can't trust you, Mr. Akinpelu. You tell me one thing and you do something else. Perhaps after some time passes, we can talk again. But you picked up this case, 3 weeks ago, right? Not enough time. Not only that, you have to be careful because they're about
Peter, thanks for chatting. We love when Australia comes into the house. We're almost up to 3%, guys. I'm gonna look.
To file motions to revoke on your probations upstairs. So 2 felony warrants are going to issue pretty soon. So you need to be aware of that and get with your lawyer to talk about that. Okay? I'm not ready to. I'm sorry. Mr. Evans, we can get you a date though if you want.
I already have a date.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Akinpelu. It's a no for right now. Okay. All right, we'll have you sign a reset. Okay. Mr. Evans, come back in some time and show me some like proactivity and then we can talk, okay? But I'm not gonna take his word for it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Understand.
But
Cutting, Mr. Rogan. Pardon me, Judge. Hi, my name is Lauren Stuvers.
Be quiet, Lauren. How did my Australian population tank? How? How did my, hold on, I'm going to take a screenshot. It'll be easier. We were at 2.8%. Wow, we just nosedived. There you are, 1.2%. What happened? What happened? Why did we tank so bad? I feel like in live chat every day there's more Australians and then you just look at the numbers and it's just all lies.
I just want to introduce myself. I'll be the DVD prosecutor who covers for Ryan whenever he's at party.
okay, great. So he's taking off now for D.
Yes,
And he's being
in-
gone the whole week now?
Correct.
So you'll
Well,
be covering?
He'll be there at 11 for the whole week.
Okay.
And so after 11, they call me.
Tokyo.
And I'll pop in and out. If you guys need me or anything, I have a card over here.
Great. Yeah, as long as you got contact, then great. Wonderful. Thanks. Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you too.
Yeah. Ready?
Judge, approaching on bond conditions for Mr. Salvador.
Tokyo doesn't even
On
show
docket
up on
today?
the
He
list.
is on docket today, Judge.
Page 29.
Go out and start door knocking.
Okay, tell me.
He was given a GPS device. No priors, BSE was 0.177.
Why? There has to be a reason.
They say he was clocked on 120, 65.
Okay.
That's, I mean, so.
Probably because we don't want him out in the middle of the night.
Over.
I'm not sure.
Show up.
I don't remember exactly what the time
That's
was,
probably
Judge.
why he's going double the speed limit. Is that him back there?
Or in the red shirt. He works at Bombshells and he works 12-hour shifts. I understand, Judge, that's.
Nothing good happens at Bombshells, man. Nothing good happens at Bombshells.
Right.
They had a bomb Bombshells. Swear, nothing good. I mean, anything that happens on there. Anyways.
So he works, works different times.
This is the one where he like works double shifts and he wants to work in the middle of the night. And I said no already once, right?
Yes, you did say no.
I don't know if I've approached you on this
Yeah, you have.
before, have I?
Yeah.
Yep.
He wants to work in the middle of the night because he works 2 shifts. He works like
From 4
70
PM
hours a
to-
week or something.
Right, he works, well, right now he's telling me he works 4 PM to 4 AM, because they close at 2. They close at 2, they have to clean up until 3, and then he has to get home. Let me pull up just the facts of the case, Judge. Yeah,
I don't know what kind of club it is.
remember what time it was.
I don't
What
know.
do you want?
I would like to, well, what I would like is probably to remove the GPS, because he has to work.
I mean, why can't he work with the GPS on?
He can, but
Yeah,
then
of course he can.
he can't take certain shifts because he has to hurry up and get home. That's why. So the other thing would be,
How long has he been on bond?
it's been a month and a half. So he's 23, no priors, Judge. I guess.
The problem is, Marcos, is that in the restaurant industry, when you're done with work, especially when you're working in a place like that, everybody gets lit after work. That's what you do. And it scares me if he's
I
in
wanna
that
deny it,
environment, working
Judge,
at
but I
Bombshells where
can't.
all they do is consume booze. He's going to be in that kind of environment. It's going to be just there for him to just partake and get into it. And that's what scares me. That's what I don't want him to do. So if he's there working and then people start drinking at 3 a.m, right? And everybody else is doing it. And hey man, come on. The peer pressure, especially for a 23-year-old to partake and get into it. Boom. That's what scares me. That's why we did this. And then him driving at nearly 130 miles or 120 something miles an hour.
So he's obviously not driving now. In fact, he's telling me.
I know that.
Well, because he's been telling me he's been having to Uber to work all the time. And if he has reduced number of shifts, can't really make a lot of money, and he has to Uber. So he's spending money to Uber to the work when he picks up a shift. That's within the time frame that he's allowed. So. What about a portable device, Judge? Isn't that kind of the main reason?
But he have a scram on him.
Well, I think he just has, does he have both the scram and the GPS or just? I think he only has the one. Does it say both on there? You know, it's the GPS.
Dope. Looks like someone's going to jail.
No, it doesn't say on there he needs both. What she's saying, according to the conversation he made.
Raggy.
The order didn't say that, Judge. So why not just order the scram? You'll know if he's drinking.
Okay. Does he not have a scram now?
He doesn't.
It's not ordered.
The temptation and peer pressure.
Jennifer, don't give facts to these men. They're just gonna keep going on about how all these women lure men in, innocent men into these clubs and then rob them.
To consume when everybody around you and you're 23, it's just so high. And I'm trying to keep him from being in that kind of environment, especially at Bombshells, just.
Yeah, you just told me the first court date, you only ordered the GPS with the curfew just to make sure he's not out in the middle of the night and he had no alcohol condition. So he didn't have a alcohol device.
We do the scram and you'll know if he's drinking. So I could
Then
technically
what's
up.
gonna happen when it gets to positive? Oh man, alcohol spilled on it. I'm so sorry. Right?
Well, I understand, but technically as of now, he could have been partying.
If you want it, Marcos, I'll do it. He'll
Okay,
get
I appreciate that.
He's got to get his scram beforehand, and I'm gonna admonish him that no excuses. I don't give a rat's behind what he comes here and says. If any kind of positives, I'm putting his butt in jail and as quick as I get it. And
Okay, I'll talk to him about switching.
Absolute strict compliance. I don't care what his violation is. I don't care if alcohol spills on it, if he's mouthwash, whatever it is. Like, if you want it, I don't think it's a good idea. The 23-year-old to be out at 3 a.m. There's so many other jobs that you can find. Go to La Madeleine, go to McDonald's, anywhere else. Why does it have to be there? Why does it have to be at 4 a.m? It's up to you. If you want to do it, before we'll put the scram on him, but I'm telling you, the potential peer pressure is just, it's crazy.
Sure.
Crazy. I'm a chef. That's what I did before this. What do you think I did after every day of work? Every day after we left, we went to work at 5 a.m. I got off at 11 o'clock at night and we hit the bar right afterwards. Every single person. It's just a party industry, man. Everybody loves it. You work hard and then you play hard. So that's what I'm saying.
You work very
I'm
hard.
foreseeing what's going to happen, but it's up to you. If you want it, I'm okay.
Okay,
We'll do the scram first.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I just let it go on and I lost track of time. To me, the stream only started like 20 minutes ago. It's been 3 hours. Sorry. I didn't even realize. I really didn't realize. I was just here watching chat. All right. Thank you so much for coming out today. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I shall see you in 2.5-ish hours in Judge Fleischer's courtroom. I know. Listen, I know. I feel like I just started this stream and I have to stop it now, and it's 3 hours. Love you, Lisi. Thank you, Sandra. Yep, I'll see you soon, Jennifer. Bye, Monica. Bye, awesome mods, the best mods ever. Jay, it was lovely that you dropped in. I shall tell Fozzie you said hello. Have a great day, everyone. Behave. And I'll see you in a few hours. Bye.
Got these lights that goes digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Freedom tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle she lights the way. Her eyes mirror sky so blue. In her jokes there's a truth so true. With extreme she brings the light. Turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Streaming tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle she lights the way. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm.